We come your way live from John Wall Memorial Field here on the campus of Cedar Rapids Prairie on a beautiful Friday night for high school football. Week 9 of the season. The regular season about to finish up in classes 5A, 4A, and 3A, and we got one of the top matchups coming your way here on CRM Live Sports at crmlivesports.com, as it'll be the Hawks of Cedar Rapids Prairie, rated number 6 in 5A, hosting the number 9 rated Linn-Mar Lions. Scott Udash, Coach John Hegarty with you here tonight from John Wall Memorial Field. A great crowd coming in and a beautiful night for football. Calm, 69 degrees here as we get ready to kick things off. How about that for a week 9? You can't beat that, John.
I'm so happy for the fans and the players and everybody that's going to be here to get this game tonight. And I'm thinking, Scott, they're reaping the reward of Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, wind and cold that they had to endure in practice. So good for them.
Coming your way in the Plum Supply Kitchens and Baths pregame show here tonight from Prairie. Their showroom located on Blair's Ferry Road, northeast in Cedar Rapids, 1716 Blair's Ferry Road, northeast in Cedar Rapids to be exact. We're going to hear from both coaches coming up. But, John, this is almost a playoff game before the playoffs get started next week because Prairie is in. We know that. What's at stake for the Hawks and Mark Bliss? Well, that would be a home game next Friday night right here at John Wall Memorial Field. For the Linn-Mar Lions, win and you're guaranteed getting in. You drop this one tonight, and then you're going to be doing some math and a little bit of searching for scores when you get home tonight.
And let's go back to Prairie for just a minute. Not only would they be eligible for a home game, but they would get a very favorable matchup as well with a team that is below them in terms of the RPI seeding. Linn-Mar has got to do everything they can to try and win this game tonight, and if they can, possibly avoid that 13, 14, 15, or 16th seed.
Because that means probably more than likely a trip to Central Iowa to start things off. But, hey, the playoffs are the playoffs. And then you throw in the fact that you got two pretty good teams. You also throw in the fact that you got a rivalry here that goes back to when these two schools were created. They've been in the same conference all throughout their history. They've knocked heads with one another. And you don't have to say a whole lot to both of these squads to get them ready to go for Linn-Mar Prairie.
Yeah, they've got the tradition, big game last year to finish the season as well. But, you know, in the big scheme of things, if you look at it from a head coach's point of view, what you want to do tonight is you want to secure the victory and have that springboard you into the playoffs. You want to hit the tape, break the tape, so to speak, at running at full speed. And that's what tonight is. They're going to break the tape and head into the playoffs. You want to be going full speed when you get there.
Got two of the best running backs in Class 5A going head-to-head in this ball game tonight. Of course, you've got Mikkel Taylor for Cedar Rapids Prairie, 5th in 5A right now. Needs a little less than 70 yards to get to 1,000 for his second straight campaign. Yet another great tailback.
How many years in a row has Prairie had a 1,000-yard rusher?
Just amazing. And then Carter Henderson, of course, missed the first part of the year with an injury, and he has come back with a vengeance. 9 touchdowns, 595 yards coming into the ball game tonight. Almost 9 yards a carry for Carter Henderson.
Such a complete runner. He's got the size, the speed, the toughness, the vision. It's all there.
Yep, and so we're going to see those two. One of the interesting facets of this game, though, tonight, you've got disparaging offensive and defensive lines here. You've got a line for Prairie, big line on both sides. Linn-Mar, smaller but quicker. Who's going to win?
It's one of those classic matchups, but it's what makes football fun because, this isn't the football from the olden days where the big guys just come out and go lockstep down the field like the Trojan Wars or anything like that. There's a premium on speed in football today, and Linn-Mar's got a little bit of edge maybe in that regard.
Lions 5-3, Prairie 6-2. Here as I come into this game tonight. Quick break, come back. We're going to talk with both coaches. Up first, Mark Bliss, the head coach of the Hawks of Cedar Rapids Prairie. It's Prairie hosting Linn-Mar from John Wall Memorial Field. Back after this on CRM Live Sports.
Plum Supply Kitchens and Baths. Your home never looks so beautiful. Plumbing fixtures, a great variety. Transform your home come with Plum Supply. Our kitchen designs are amazing. Our service is priceless. Plum Supply. Touch and see. Plum Supply kitchens and baths. Your home never looks so beautiful.
Does your business need signs, nameplates, or name badges? Looking to recognize an employee, athlete, or student for a job well done? Or promote your next big event? Letter Perfect in Cedar Rapids has what you need to identify, recognize, and promote. ADA-compliant office signs, industrial signs, full-color signs, dimensional letters, personalized plaques, and awards of all kinds, and thousands of items to customize with your company logo to promote your business. Letter Perfect, 5412 Centerpoint Road Northeast, and online at letperfect.com. Back at John Wall Field on the Plum Supply Kitchens and Baths pregame show as we get ready for Prairie and Linn-Mar, and head coach Mark Bliss of the Prairie Hawks joining me. And Coach, boy, have you ever had a week 9? I know in Oklahoma you probably have, but not in Iowa, right, with this weather?
I tell you what, tonight is about as perfect as you could ask for in terms of just weather itself. It's been a good day so far. Hopefully it'll maintain itself the rest of the night.
Well, coming off a real shootout last week against Iowa City West, you put 49 on the board. Offense performed very well.
Yeah, like I said, we were fortunate enough to get things rolling, and our kids were able to maintain the game plan itself, and allowed us to do what we wanted to do in both the run and passing game, and had a good night overall.
And you want to see improvement. You want to see a crescendo, if you will, coming to a conclusion going into the playoffs. How you feel about your team right now?
Well, the thing is, we always tell our players it's not where we start, it's how we end, and we're at the end of our season, so we're expecting big things from them in terms of, execution and focus and discipline and the things we ask them to do on either side of the ball in our special teams. So hopefully, we'll go out and play like I think we can play, and we'll be okay. But, the thing about it is that you just never know on any given night. Anybody can do anybody, or beat anybody. So we got to make sure we come out with unbelievable focus and understand that Linn-Mar is a very good football team. And
yards again tonight, so that'd be nice.
Yep, he's got 947 yards. So we're hoping that he can cross the 1,000-yard threshold for a second time in his career and just maintain that longevity of running backs we've been fortunate enough to have over the years, where we've had, just year after year, we've always had those 1,000-yard rushers, and he would just add to the stable we've been fortunate to have the last 8 years I've been here.
Well, you got to give a lot of credit, though, to the guys up front.
Oh, absolutely. No, and he knows that, too. He's always the first one to give credit to our linemen and our tight ends and stuff, and then just some of the things that we do scheme-wise and stuff. But, no, you're absolutely right. Those guys up front are, a couple of them are, like Kelda Flieger's a 3-year starter for us. So, he's sort of the catalyst or the nucleus of our offensive line, and we go as he goes. So hopefully he'll come out tonight and lead the rest of the guys around him to control the line of scrimmage, and if he does, then it could be a good night.
Well, probably don't have to say a whole lot to the boys about getting ready and motivated for this one. Linn-Mar and Prairie have been butting heads since the two schools came into being.
That's what I've been told. There's just not a lot of love lost between the two schools, and I know Linn-Mar for some reason just hates Prairie, and I've been told that since my first day on campus. So anyway, it's just one of those things where you still got to go out and compete and have fun, and hopefully we can make it happen.
And an important game for both teams here. For you guys, you win, you're assured a home game next week.
That's true. No, like I said, this is, like I said, like our players, if they can't be hyped up for this one, there's nothing I could say or any coach on our staff can say. And it's just very important and very crucial that we try to come out and take care of business tonight so we can host a playoff game at home like we did last year and like done the years we've been able to make quarterfinal runs or put ourselves in position to be very successful or make a run were years that we've been able to host home playoff games. So that's our hopes and our ambitions again tonight.
All right, sounds good. And best of luck to the Hawks tonight, Coach.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Scott. God bless, brother.
We'll take a break. Come back for more at Prairie after this. Looking for reliable and professional plumbing service in the metro area? Look no further than Evans Plumbing. From the smallest and simplest jobs to large commercial plumbing needs, Evans Plumbing will strive to exceed expectations by ensuring that all plumbing work is done to the highest of standards. Evans Plumbing uses only the highest quality parts and equipment to ensure customer satisfaction is guaranteed, and 24-hour emergency service is available. Evans Plumbing, 5070 18th Avenue Southwest, and at evansmasterplumber.com. The MLB, the NFL, the NHL. What do these three have in common? All three professional leagues have a chiropractor full-time in every team. Professional athletes use chiropractic care to perform at their highest level. Let the team at Spinal Corrective Center help you play at 100%. Sports chiropractic care is the next level. Chiropractic care improves body function, reaction, and improves player longevity. Call Spinal Corrective Center today at 393-3996 and see Drs. Kretzinger, Kuehl, and Henick and experience sports chiropractic care to perform at the next level. Spinal Corrective Center, 3800 River Ridge Drive Northeast in Cedar Rapids and at spinalcc.org. On the Plum Supply Kitchens and Baths pregame show, getting ready for Linn-Mar and Prairie, and head coach Tim Lovell of the Lions joining me. And I'd say welcome to Prairie, but you've been here before this year.
Yeah, we had a great experience here. Didn't turn out necessarily the way we wanted, but played really physical football against the top team and set us up for some success this year.
Well, I had to be happy about last week. Probably got everybody in, and anytime you have a senior night like that, that's chock full of memories.
Yeah, it's special. You know, you don't go into a game like that thinking you're going to score a school record points. And you don't want to show up anybody, but you also want to make sure that kids that give to your program get the work that they need. And that was an opportunity for a lot of kids to get some needed time and deserved time and have some success on both sides of the ball. So I was really proud of our team effort. It really set us up for a great week this week coming in at Prairie.
Well, and the second and third guys that get in, they want to keep that shutout too, and they did it.
Yeah, that was the task. It was, we knew there was a record coming into halftime, and we knew that those guys were going to play the entire half, and that was a challenge. Do you want to do this? Do you want to get the shutout? And the overwhelming answer was, yeah, we want to take care of business. So the guys that play normally on Friday nights were the cheerleaders, like those guys get to be sometimes, and that was exciting. It was exciting to see our guys get excited for those guys that need the work, and you just can't say enough about the work that those kids put in a week to get us ready. And, for example, this week, you see the single wing. So you ask those guys to take a lot of time with film and practice and intention, and they really prepped us well for this week.
Well, Carter Henderson just getting stronger and stronger as the weeks progress anyway. And this is probably, it might be a blessing in disguise to have him a little bit more fresh as you get to this point of the season.
I think you make a great point. We didn't like losing him when we did. Obviously, it hurt us at the beginning of the year, but we got some other guys, some real intentional reps, and it allowed him to kind of get healthy. And so I think that he needs when he goes to the next level, because when you get to college, if you're not injured, you're not doing something. And, hopefully you don't get that path. But he is feeling really good. He's running really hard, and he is a horse to bring down. And if we can get some first downs, I think we'll be able to gain some momentum.
Well, you mentioned the single wing, and you had a week to get ready for it in an important game. And it is a tough scout, no doubt about it. But you've seen it before.
Yeah, we have. And I think another year into it with our guys that have been around the program, they understand the focus that you have to have when you're given the defense reps, and the focus that you have to when you're given good looks. Obviously you can't mimic what they have. I mean, they have so much speed and athleticism and size. We can't match that in practice, but we can certainly match the looks. And so I feel as prepared as we possibly can. You never can count Coach Bliss out for having something in his back pocket that you can't plan for. But that's why you just coach your kids and tell them you just be ready for anything.
We can almost say that the playoffs begin for you tonight with this game in week number 9. And, I'm sure you've done the math. Maybe you haven't done the math. I don't know. But win and you take care of things.
Yeah, and that's absolutely right. And I think you win, you stay close to home. Whether or not you host, I don't know. But you certainly like the opportunity to be closer to home than having to go to Des Moines, which is what it would look like if we didn't win. So our kids are focused, and they feel motivated to play hard and play physical because they know what's at stake. And obviously you can't take anything for granted. Every play matters. So I'm really excited to see what team shows up tonight. We got our lumps against Southeast last time you were here watching us play, and I think that kind of prepped us for the physicality with which we got to approach this game. So I'm anxious to see how we come out.
And it's Linn-Mar Prairie. Doesn't have to be a whole lot said.
That's exactly right. There's no love lost between the programs. Obviously, mutual respect. Coach Bliss has just done a tremendous job with that program. He's a mentor to me. So I really appreciate his leadership in this program at Prairie. We want to get to where they've been. So to do that, you got to beat them. And, great opportunity tonight. You don't get opportunities like this that mean so much late in the year very often. So our guys understand the importance, the magnitude, and the blessing that this opportunity provides.
All right, best of luck to the Lions.
Thank you very much.
Back with more right after this. The Cedar Rapids, Iowa City Building Trades Council represents 18 building trade unions in the corridor. Each union provides skilled workers for construction projects throughout the area. Union workers are highly skilled professionals who are determined to better their communities. The building trades unions are always looking toward the future. Training in registered apprenticeships is available. Visit their website at cricbt.org for more information. The Cedar Rapids, Iowa City Building and Trades Council, committed to getting the job done right the first time. Back at it, jam-packed John Wall Memorial Field here at Cedar Rapids Prairie on senior night as we get closer and closer to kickoff between the Hawks and the Lions. Time for our keys to the game. They are brought to you by the Cedar Rapids, Iowa City Building Trades Council, representing 18 building trade unions up and down the corridor. Apprenticeships are available. They are online at cricbt.org. What are you looking at tonight for the Hawks and the Lions?
Well, let's start with the visiting team, Linn-Mar, because I think they have got to play fast. They're going to be outsized a little bit, and so they want to make this a game of speed tonight on both sides of the ball. In fact, all three facets for that matter. If you're Prairie, you want to bring the beef, and you want to lean on Linn-Mar heavy, and you want to assert your size and possibly your strength to nullify the speed. But let's talk about both teams, for example. I was just thinking back. The Achilles heel of both these teams when we've seen them this year, Scott, big plays. They've got to deny the big play to each other. And if both teams can do that, then we're going to have a dandy that could come down to the very last possession possibly. But that's the way I see it, speed versus the beef.
We got fireworks going off. Prairie Hawks coming out of the smoke and the light show in the tunnel, wearing their breast cancer awareness uniforms tonight, black with the pink. Linn-Mar in their Georgia Bulldog uniforms, white jerseys, red numbers trimmed in black with the silver pants, the red, white, and black stripes. Pretty good fireworks show, John.
Yeah, looks like the 4th of July, and you best stay away from the southeast corner of John Wall Field for a while.
We'll get to our Evans Plumbing starting lineups here in a moment. Brought to you by Evans Plumbing on 18th Avenue Southwest in Cedar Rapids. They are also online. Evans Master Plum, from the smallest to large commercial needs, as well as 24-hour emergency service. The Lions cross the way. Prairie, everybody out on the Hawk at the 50-yard line on the field turf. The Linn-Mar starters, brought to you by Evans Plumbing at left tackle. Kennick Nims, 230 and a senior. It will be the young Henderson, Camden Henderson, at left guard, 5'11", 215. He is a sophomore. Ashton Talbot, the center, 190 and a senior. Tyler Satterley at right guard. He is a 205-pound senior. And sophomore Maverick Stapley at right tackle, 215. He is a sophomore. Very good tight end, Keaton Roska, 6'3", 215-pound junior. The starting wideouts are Tayden Ferguson, 6'2", 170 and a junior, along with T.J. Jackson, 6', 160 and a senior. The starting quarterback is a sophomore, Austin Waller, the 5'10", 170-pounder, 54% completion percentage, just under 1,000 yards, 11 touchdowns, but he has thrown 7 interceptions this year. The featured back, Carter Henderson, 6', 200-pound senior, headed to Minnesota State next year. And the fullback is Aiden Mesh at 5'10", 175, and he is a senior. Those are your Evans Plumbing starting offensive lineups for the Linn-Mar Lions as the captains meeting at the 50-yard line. And the coin toss going on below. And we will find out who will get the ball first. To me, it looked like Linn-Mar won it and deferred. And we're going to find out from our official. Linn-Mar wins the toss, and they want the football. Tim Lovell says, we want the ball right away. For Prairie offensively, Will Vlasic at the strong side tackle, 245 and a senior. The quick tackles, Ethan Kirk, 315 and a senior. The strong guard is 3-year starter, Cale DeFleeger, 320 and a senior. Carter Dolly at quick guard, 265 and a senior. And the center for the Prairie Hawks tonight is going to be Matt Wilson, a 5'11", 240-pound junior. Cal Sullivan, the college baseball player to be, 6'1", 190, and a senior, is the quarterback for Prairie. The wideouts are Casey Kelly, 5'10", 160, and a junior, and another junior, Apollo Payne, 6'3", 190. The tight end filling in for the injured Braden Dirksen is Matthew Hilleman. He is a 6'2", 210-pound senior. Of course, the feature back, Mikkel Taylor, 6 foot, 200 pounds, and a senior. And Tate Jones, the blocking back, 6'1", 195. We're ready for our opening kickoff. It is brought to you by Letter Perfect at 5412 Center Point Road Northeast and online at letperfect.fi. Recognize and promote an employee, group, athlete, or student. They have thousands of items to customize with your company logo at Letter Perfect. Prairie will kick from right to left as we are just about set to get this one underway. Should be a lot of fun. Real good Metro matchup on tap here tonight. It'll be Jackson Severson back. Here is the kick, and it's coming to the near side. We'll take a bounce. Jackson's going to pick it up. He's at the 10. He's going to go down right there. Good special teams play. Casey Kelly, one of the starting wideouts, was down there in special teams to bring him down.
Nice corner kick there that just died at the 10-yard line. Had eyes to maybe go into the end zone, but not this time.
So the Lions will have it first down and 10. They'll actually mark it at the 9-yard line. For Prairie defensively, the Evans Plumbing starting defense, Hilleman at one end, Carter Dolly, Hess, and Young up front, Powell, Heisdorfer, and Tate Jones, the linebackers, Payne, Harder, Slazak, and Wagamaster in the defensive backfield. First and 10 out of the pistol with split backs, and on the handoff, Henderson sweeping the left side, breaks a tackle 15 and gets about 7 to the 17-yard line. As coming up to make the stop was the strong safety Sawyer Slazak. Henderson runs hard, and they're going to give him 9 on that carry.
And he just blew through the first arm tackle like it wasn't even there, and it took 2 defenders to finally bring him down.
Jackson and Ferguson both coming out to the near side for Linn-Mar. Just underway. Our first half brought to you by Spinal Corrective Center at spinalcc.org and River Ridge Drive. Straight ahead handoff to Henderson. Swing move across the 20, still on his feet. 25 and up to the 26. He'll get a gain of 8 and 17 yards in the first 2 carries for Carter Henderson and a Linn-Mar first down.
Well, it could have been more, but he had one of his left tackle out there that was in his way, and he had to actually push him forward before he could keep his forward progress going.
So first and 10, Lions on the 26-yard line. Just underway. Prairie's going to bring Slazak up there as an extra defensive end. Here is the read option and the sweep. Henderson coming right, hit, brought down in the backfield. Slazak was there, and also Nick Powell, who I believe is the leading tackler for this Prairie defense.
Good pursuit, stringing that out by the left side of the defense for Prairie, and when the troops arrived, down he went for a loss of 2.
You take a look at the Linn-Mar offense. They are right in the middle of 5A, averaging 312 yards a game, 157 on the ground, or excuse me, 154 on the ground, 157 through the air, so very balanced for Tim Lovell and the Lions. Out of the pistol, off the fake, pump fake, and in trouble. Ball is stripped, it's loose, and I believe Prairie's got it, and they do. A strip and a recovery by Stephen Moore, 6 foot, 255-pound senior.
Yeah, Moore put the big bear hug on, and the ball popped out, and then he just dropped on it. So he got both the forced fumble and the recovery.
So the first big break of the ball game goes to the Prairie Hawks.
And that's not the part of the field that they wanted to have a turnover.
On the 12-yard line. And that's going to be a loss of 12 right there. And more importantly, the turnover as Moore comes up with it. Less than 2 minutes into the ball game. First and 10 for Prairie. Cal Sullivan at quarterback. He'll get his lineman to stand up here. Linn-Mar did not jump offside. Now they'll take a look at the wristbands and get back to play. Tight end will start on the left side. They'll go unbalanced to the right. Here's the snap to Taylor off the left side, 10. Taylor to the 5, and he has a first and goal down to the Linn-Mar 1-yard line. It's going to be fun watching these two running backs.
Big push by this large offensive line for Cedar Rapids Prairie. They came off low and hard and pushed White backwards.
Kelly in the slot right. See if Taylor gets that direct snap again. First and goal, Prairie, just outside the 1 yard line. Nope, Sullivan's going to get the snap, breaks a tackle, dives right side, touchdown. Prairie takes advantage of the turnover. 2 plays and a score and more fireworks.
Very appropriate to go along with the big touchdown that they just scored. And that's not the way Linn-Mar has scripted out getting started here. But Mark Bliss is saying, yep, I'm enjoying this.
Boy, and it's so big as Prairie will line up in the swinging gate here. It is so big for Prairie to get out in front, because that is not a team that is built to throw the ball and come from behind. As the extra point try from Slazak coming up, right-footed kicker. And we've got movement up front and a penalty flag. We'll see what this is about. It's going to be a legal procedure against the Hawks.
Got to go back to sign language tonight, Scott. And we don't have anybody mic'd up.
That's fun when that happens, though. Had that at Kingston.
It's a nice little treat.
Kingston last night. Slazak to try the extra point. This time it'll be at a 25-yarder as he'll kick it toward the Prairie band. Good snap. Placement made. Kick on its way up and good. 7-0. Hawks strike off the turnover as Prairie takes the lead 7-0. Back after this here on CRM Live Sports.
Carpenters Local 308 in Cedar Rapids is a member of the North Central States Regional Council of Carpenters, representing nearly 27,000 members and their families in the upper Midwest. The union is dedicated to protecting and elevating the economic and social conditions of all workers and to provide our industry with the best trained, most productive, and safest workforce available. Carpenters Local 308 is always looking for new workers to join their ranks. Apprenticeship classes and training are available for you to become a skilled worker for your career. More information on Carpenters Local 308 is available at carpenterslocal308.org.
Great crowd on hand, both sides filled. In fact, it is really neat to see people along the fences.
It is.
Because we haven't seen that in a long time.
Well, perfect night, big game, lots of playoff implications involved here. You should be out here supporting your team tonight. That's great for both communities.
Again, our first half brought to you by Spinal Corrective Center and River Ridge Drive Northeast in Cedar Rapids. Another pooch kick, trying to angle to the near side, but this time it goes out of bounds, and the Lions are going to have excellent field position starting off at the 35-yard line. That's kind of walking the tightrope there when you ask your kicker to try to get it down there, a directional kick, and it worked the first time, didn't work the second time. So 1st and 10 for the Lions. Defensively for Linn-Mar, Watts, Waller, Hawk, Irwin, and Roskup up front. Lechtenberg, White, Lewense at the linebacker spots. Severson, Blackford, Starnes, and Recker in the defensive backfield for when Linn-Mar brings the defense out. 1st and 10 for the Lions, down 7-0. They'll scrimmage from the 35 on the right hash mark. Split backs, meshes back there with Henderson. They'll give it to Carter Henderson, and he'll give it to Mazinski on the double reverse pass. Going downfield, and a diving attempt incomplete to the quarterback. I believe Waller. Or no, not Waller. That was coming out of the backfield for Linn-Mar. That was Hayden Toms. He was in there at fullback.
Little trickeration on first down there. I like that thought. And had the ball been underthrown.
Right side, 4 receivers, 2 up top, 2 to the right. They'll empty the backfield. Henderson going out there. And here's the throw in the flat. Roskup with blockers in front to the 40. Still on his feet, running over people and close to a first down, as he took it all the way to the 45-yard line before he was stopped in there by Matt Hilleman and Ian Monahan.
Big tight end Roskup, big target out there, and he got that ball, had a couple of wide receiver screens set for him, but he ran over 2 or 3 Prairie defenders to get that first down.
Roskup, 6'3", 215, and being looked at by a lot of colleges. 16th catch in the year. 7 touchdowns, though, on those 16 catches. I formation. First down and 10. Prairie with 7 in the box. Straight ahead handoff to Henderson. Not much. Gets 2 out to the 47-yard line. Again, Hilleman on the stop, getting up off the bottom of the pile for Prairie along with Aiden Heisdorfer.
Defensive line for the Hawks did a nice job of getting a stalemate there with the offensive line of the Lions. And that's tough sledding when you can't get a push downfield like that.
7-0 Prairie. 8.5 to play in the first quarter from John Wall Memorial Field. Prairie scoring off the Linn-Mar turnover deep in the Lions' own territory. Offset eye to the left, out of the pistol. Here comes the blitz. Waller back to throw, steps up, eluding the pressure, and now caught. He will go down for the second time. Gonna lose those 3. They got it first down, as a whole bunch of Hawks were in there. Heisdorfer was in there, along with Monahan and Hilleman.
Good pressure. Defensive coordinator Jim Dossel bringing some linebackers on that. They know that Waller wants to look downfield deep, and Waller's got to maybe try and find a way to get that ball out of his hands just a little bit quicker, even if he doesn't have the open receiver, just to avoid the sacks.
Malachi Gello into the ball game for Prairie, and a left defensive end. On 3rd down and 10, they need the Prairie 45-yard line. Shotgun snap. Waller in the pump fake. He's in trouble. Eludes the pressure. Running to his left to the 50. He's got a first down and angled out of bounds at the 42. Linn-Mar wanted a late flag, and here they come.
Yeah, they're coming now.
They were late, but I think it was the right call.
Both directions. Officials coming in opposite directions threw flags at the end of that.
That's going to be a free 15 for the Lions.
Yeah, that tackle went well behind the Linn-Mar bench, almost over to the track.
So tack on 15 more, and it's going to take the ball down to the Prairie 27-yard line. 7-0 Hawks. Jackson and Ferguson to the right side. Roskup tight end left. And they'll run it out of the eye. Here is the handoff to Henderson off the right side. Bust through to the 20-yard line and brought down there. On the tackle was Nick Powell. But, again, breaking tackle. The first contact, Henderson gets through.
He's such a strong runner, and he's got good vision. When he has to put his shoulder pads down and power through something, he keeps those legs churning, just drags people with him for a ride.
Gain of 7 that time. So it is 2nd down, long 2, we'll call it. Again, Lions out of the straight eye formation. Henderson tail the tandem. He'll get it. Same play, except the opposite side. He's got a first down. Inside the 15, down to the 14-yard line as he will go for 6 more.
And big lineman for the Lions, and good job by Henderson of being patient and reading those blocks.
Little brother blocking for big brother.
You bet they're going to be talking about that too.
In the red zone, 1st and 10 Linn-Mar at the Prairie 15-yard line. Henderson the lone setback, and he'll get it. Quick burst, left side, 10 to the 5, he's in. Touchdown, hardly touched as he goes 15 for the score.
He was hardly touched, and that was a quick hitter, but all the troops in the linebacking corps for Prairie were deployed elsewhere.
Big answer right there by the Linn-Mar Lions.
Aided by the big personal foul there from the Prairie defense.
3-minute, 32-second drive, and Linn-Mar with a chance to tie it up. They'll try the swinging gate.
Keep an eye on the swinging gate, especially when Prairie's in there, because Coach Bliss has no problem with calling some exotic.
And Linn-Mar is going to do an exotic. Musinski with the throw back to Roskup. Blockers in front. He'll take it in. Perfectly executed in an 8-7 lead for Linn-Mar.
How about that?
As they go for the 2-point pass. And they get that accomplished. 6:10 to play here in the opening quarter. It's been a good one. Linn-Mar 8 and Prairie 7. Back with a kick after this on CRM Live Sports.
Need help for your small or mid-sized business with printing needs and personalized marketing solutions? Allegra Print, Mail, and Signs can help. Everything from direct mail marketing to printing services and even vehicle graphics, Allegra Print, Mail, and Signs can help your business grow. Allegra takes on your project as if it was their own and can use their many platforms to help elevate your individual or business's game. Proudly serving the Cedar Rapids Metro and Iowa City areas, as well as all of Linn and Johnson counties. Allegra Print, Mail, and Signs, 3939 16th Avenue Southwest in Cedar Rapids. No matter where you are in life, Hills Bank is here to help you succeed. Whether you're buying your first house, saving for your child's future, or preparing for retirement, you can count on the people at Hills Bank for the support you need to reach your goals. It's easy to connect with a banker over the phone or on hillsbank.com because we believe banking is better through human connection. Hills Bank is an equal housing lender and FDIC member.
Back for the kickoff from left to right as it'll be Mitch Fromm to kick it away, and going back over the shoulder catch, and they will come out of the end zone. Must have caught it at the goal line and just shy of the 20-yard line. Coming out with it wearing number 2. We don't have a 2 here on the roster, but I think that's Apollo Payne, who usually wears 17. Prairie wearing the alternate jerseys tonight, John, so
yep.
We hope, I was hoping we weren't going to have too many of those.
Breast cancer awareness, got a little pink across the shoulder pads there. A lot of the players donning pink under their jerseys and pants.
Good to see that. 1st and 10 for the Hawks, now down by a point at 8-7. Sullivan will get it, and they'll run the little reverse, and that's the wing reverse, and this is Kelly being pinballed around across the 20. Getting to about the 22-yard line. That's Casey Kelly, the junior 5'10", 160-pounder for the Hawks. And he'll take it for about 4.
This is a quick pursuing defense for Linn-Mar. They're not as big as the offensive line is for Prairie, but they just play fast, and they like to get to the ball in a hurry with as many white and red jerseys as they can.
2nd down and 6. Ball middle of the field. Lions showing blitz. Off the long count, Sullivan on the keeper. Off tackle right. Breaks one tackle across the 25 and gets to the 30-yard line. And he'll have a Prairie 1st down on a gain of 7. Tough running there by Cal Sullivan.
Yeah, Sullivan break back against the grain there and caught the defense for Linn-Mar on full flow the opposite direction.
First night of the playoffs in classes 2A, 1A, A, and 8-player tonight. We'll keep you updated on the Emil's Hideaway out-of-town scoreboard, as well as the regular season finales in 5A, 4A, and 3A. 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line. Slot to the right side, direct snap, Mikkel Taylor. He'll take it up the middle, and then this thrown forward. Got 2 extra yards to the 34-yard line as he was thrown forward by middle linebacker Jack White.
Linn-Mar walking up an outside linebacker, so there's essentially 5 guys on the line of scrimmage defensively for Linn-Mar, and then they've got 3 backers in there, and sometimes they even walk one of their corners in. It's almost 9 in the box, if you will.
Expecting Prairie to run the ball. Hawk offense, one of the best in Class 5A. They are number 3, 415 yards, most of that on the ground, 288 a game, where they are number 2 in the state. 2nd down and 6, and we've got a penalty flag. I think we're going to have movement early on Prairie. And that will be the case. False start against the Hawks. So penalties hurting Prairie here in the early stages.
On both sides of the ball.
I'll wind the clock. It'll be 2nd down and 11. 4 minutes to play in the opening quarter. 8-7, Linn-Mar on top. Sullivan still with 15 on the play clock. Taking a look at the wristband. Twin receivers out to the right. 1 setback, and Sullivan's going to throw. Rolls right, has time, throws sideline, juggled, and incomplete. Tried to get it to Casey Kelly.
Kelly caught it, but he just didn't have possession as he went out of bounds.
It's going to be our first 3rd down of the night. Well, in a must-win situation, it's Pella on top of Washington, 7-0 right now, down in Pella.
You think most of the people in Pella are out there at their high school football field tonight? I'm guessing that it's standing room only.
I hope
in
it's
Pella.
not 7 extra guys that are there too. 3rd down and 11. Wash could beat Marion and Newton and lose out to them in the playoff points. How's that? Back to throw. Sullivan going to throw the near sideline. Leaping catch made. Breaking a tackle is Apollo Payne at the 40 and up to the 45-yard line, and he's got a first down.
Yeah, Payne had to go up with both hands, caught it with those soft hands, came back down, and did a nice little spin move to pick up an extra 3 or 4 yards after the reception. So that was pretty.
We know number 2 is not Apollo Payne. I'm not sure who number 2 is. We'll have to do some digging. First down from the 45-yard line for Prairie. 3 receivers, 2 to the right. Offset eye to the right. Now they'll put Taylor out of the backfield. Sullivan with a pump fake. He's looking to throw deep. Has Kelly out there, but overshot him on the right sideline. Incomplete. Good double team coverage out there by the Linn-Mar Lions. They had 2 guys back there. Jackson Severson, one of them.
I like seeing Mark Bliss do this, though, if I'm one of the Prairie community, because the way the Linn-Mar's defense is packing that box in there right now, you've got to have some open shots out there, and they have.
Jam-packed stands here at John Wall Field. Why not? Top 10 battle in Class 5A going at it. Here comes Kelly in motion. They'll fake it. Spinning. Here's Sullivan. Hit at the line of scrimmage and pushes forward for a couple. Right into the middle of the pile to the 47-yard line. And white shirts getting up off the bottom. Gavin Hawkerwin, 5'10", 245-pound senior defensive tackle on the stop. That play takes a long time to develop.
It really does, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 8 here, which is a situation that not too many coaches enjoy this particular set of downs.
From the near side hash at the 47, they need the Lion 45. 3-man front, Sullivan back to throw, has plenty of protection. Throwing deep for Apollo Payne and overshot him, incomplete. Good defense by Ben Blackford over there for Linn-Mar. And it will be a 4th and 8. We'll see what Mark Bliss will do.
Payne had a step on the 2 defenders that were coming alongside of him there, but the punt team will be coming out for Prairie.
That means it will be Brady Stifler, the junior, averaging 30 yards a kick. Both these teams right around 30 yards a punt on the year. As Linn-Mar will send Jackson back, single safety to get the punt. It's away, and a nice one. Jackson retreating back to his 17, makes the over-the-shoulder catch, coming to the left side, trying to get to the corner, does. 20, 25, and angled out of bounds. See where they mark him out? Right at the 30-yard line.
Boy, it took him forever to get to that corner. I didn't think he was going to make it with all those black jerseys coming, but he finally got it turned. Had to yield about, I'd say, at least 5, if not 8 yards to get that corner turned, but going to be 1st and 10 right on the 30 for Linn-Mar's offense.
Pretty good return once they got it out of there. 2 minutes, 3 seconds remaining in the first quarter. 8-7 lead. The difference in this one has been a 2-point conversion.
On the old swinging gate screen pass.
1st and 10. Henderson the lone setback. They'll send Muzinski in motion, and they'll hand it off. Oh, and a big hit put on. As, boy, Waller held that right in the breadbasket of Muzinski as long as he could, and then there was a big wallop as Ian Monahan came in there and got him.
That's going to be highlight reel stuff. Monahan, that was a depleter.
Muzinski, you mentioned the sophomore, 5'8", 155. Very good athlete, though. 2nd down and 11 after the loss of a yard. Off the fake, Waller, deep drop, trying to set up the screen. It's caught by Henderson way back at the line of scrimmage. Prairie read it. He's going to go down for a loss of 9, back to the 20. Probably would have been better just to throw that at his feet.
Yeah, that wasn't developing at all. Too many black shirts sniffed that out right from the onset, and we've got a face mask.
Oh, is that a personal foul? Yes, it is.
This is going to be a 15er.
So it'll be 2nd and 5 instead of 3rd and 20.
Oh, 2nd time in as many possessions that the Prairie defense has offered up free 15.
So 2nd down and 5 coming up. Minute 11 to play first quarter. Linn-Mar 8, Cedar Rapids Prairie 7. From the 35-yard line, 2 receivers to the right side. Offset eye to the right. Mesh is the blocking back for Henderson. He'll get it right up the middle. That quick hitter again, and not much. Maybe 2, and they'll give him 2 to the 37-yard line. Henderson with a busy first quarter already, as we're down to 44 seconds to play in the quarter. And we'll keep you updated on some scores throughout the night, both playoff games and regular season games. As the dichotomy of regular season and postseason meeting could be the final play of the first quarter. 3rd down for Linn-Mar. From the 37, they're going to throw. Waller back. He's going to throw deep near sideline, and it's caught at the 40. Mazinski with a move at the 30 to the 25. Cuts it back at the 20-yard line and brought down at the Prairie 17. Apollo Payne-John went for the pick, tried to leap and get it, came up short.
Boy, he very nearly got a hand on it too, but that was just the game of inches that football can be sometimes, and that really shined through for Linn-Mar's offense.
45-yard pickup. As we have come to the end of the first quarter of play here from Prairie. And after 1, it's Linn-Mar 8, Cedar Rapids Prairie 7. We'll take a break, come back with quarter number 2 after this here on CRM Live Sports.
Cedar Rapids Millwork, providing outstanding service to Eastern Iowa for over 50 years. Quality products, including windows, doors, moldings, hardware, stair parts, specialties, and cabinets. Locally owned and operated, Cedar Rapids Millwork has in-house production, providing innovative quality services for contractors and their customers of the corridor. Cedar Rapids Millwork, 1950 Progress Drive in Hiawatha, and online at cedarrapidsmillwork.com. American Family Insurance agent Kurt Gustafson is committed to inspiring and protecting dreams right here in Cedar Rapids and the surrounding area. He starts by getting to know you and your needs and build a free auto, home, or life insurance quote. By bundling policies, we can often offer a variety of discounts. Whether you're purchasing a car, buying property, managing an investment property, starting a small business, or leaving behind a legacy, we've got your back as you pursue your dreams, and we'll help protect them. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. See Kurt Gustafson Agency of American Family Insurance on Johnson Avenue Southwest, right across from the Johnson Avenue Hy-Vee for more details.
On the Emils Hideaway out-of-town score over Cedar Rapids, Washington. Here it's 8-7 as we start quarter number 2. Straight ahead handoff to Henderson, and he gets submarined for a loss of about a yard. We talked about Linn-Mar's balance between run and pass, John. First quarter, 46 on the ground, 46 through the air for the Lions.
Oh, there you go.
And 92 total yards to 44 for Cedar Rapids Prairie.
Linn-Mar with the 8-7 lead, and they're knocking on the door here again.
2nd down and 11 back at the 19-yard line. They need about the 8.5 for a first down. Jackson coming in motion right to left. Across the formation, off the fake. Here's the shovel pass. Roskup up the middle to the 15, to the 10, and he's close to a first down.
Prairie's defense had everything scouted out on that play except for the shovel pass. What a great call by Tim Lovell.
4 for 4 here in the early going for Austin Waller.
3rd and 1 for a first down here at the 9-yard line of Prairie.
I wonder who's going to get the ball. That would be Big 26, I think. Carter Henderson. We'll see. 3rd down, less than a yard from the Prairie 9-yard line. Or will they sneak it? Waller's under center. Nope. They'll hand it to Henderson. First down and more. Spins at the 5, and he's in. Catapults in for the touchdown.
My goodness. That's a revolting development for Prairie's senior night here at John Wall Memorial Field.
Linn-Mar is taking advantage of Prairie mistakes. and really doing a fine job of execution. And it's 14-7 in favor of the Lions, as Henderson goes 9 yards for his second touchdown of the night. Rom for the extra point, left-footed kicker. It's on the way, and it is good. And it's a 15-7 lead for the visiting Linn-Mar Lions here at John Wall Memorial Field over Cedar Rapids Prairie. We'll take a break, come back with the kick after this on CRM Live Sports.
End your search for your favorite restaurant in Cedar Rapids. Come to Emil's Hideaway. Emil's is the home for the best-tasting American food around. Choose from your favorites: chicken, pasta dishes, pizzas, burgers, and fries. Whether you're bringing the whole family for a meal or wetting your whistle at our fully stocked bar, there's something to satisfy all ages and tastes at our classic American local restaurant. Need catering for your next party or event? Emil's has that too. Call them for details. Emil's Hideaway, open Monday through Saturday at 4 p.m., is right next to Home Depot and across from Lyndale Mall on 1st Avenue Southeast in Cedar Rapids. No matter where you are in life, Hills Bank is here to help you succeed. Whether you're buying your first house, saving for your child's future, or preparing for retirement, you can count on the people at Hills Bank for the support you need to reach your goals. It's easy to connect with a banker over the phone or on hillsbank.com because we believe banking is better through human connection. Hills Bank is an equal housing lender and FDIC member.
15 straight points put up by the Linn-Mar Lions as they get ready to kick it off. As Fromm will kick it away. Twins back at about the 5-yard line. Low line drive kick, and Slazak will field it on a hop at the 15 to the 20-yard line and up to the 25. And that's where Prairie will put it into play. And we'll take a look at scores throughout the evening here, both regular season and playoff scores. Van Meter with a 21-0 lead in the early going. Grundy Center, no problem with Bell playing. It's 35-0 in the second quarter. Pella Christian leading Regina at halftime, 14-0. Pella's a very happy bunch tonight so far. 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line. They bunch it, and now they'll direct snap it to Mikkel Taylor off the right side, and not much. As Prairie sent Cade Stout in motion, and Taylor got the direct snap, went for about a yard to the 26.
Linn-Mar's defense, with all those bodies in the box, has done a nice job between the tackles of bottling things up, and that's where Prairie usually makes a lot of their money. So they're going to have to come up on that. Counter's coming pretty quick here, Scott. That counter really riddles just about everybody that Prairie plays.
That reverse wingback counter, if you will. 2nd down. And now Prairie will flip-flop the lines, and they'll go unbalanced to the right here.
Big off unbalanced right.
And then they're going to run it that way with Taylor coming to the short side. Swim move, runs into Keaton Roscup, who pushes him back. Going to be a gain of 1, maybe 2, and a 3rd down and long coming up for the Prairie Hawks. You got Al Burnett with only a 1-point lead over Bellevue right now, 14-13 in the first quarter. West Branch, no problem, 28-0 over South Hardin. Columbus Junction leading Maquoketa Valley 7-6. Dyke New Hartford 14, Cascade 7 in the second quarter. East Buchanan 20-7 over Lisbon right now. On 3rd down and 8, as Prairie needs the 35-yard line. Here comes Taylor in the direct snap. Sweeping left, breaks a tackle, 30-35, down the far sideline to the 50. Still on his feet, finally shoved out of bounds. First big play of the night for the Prairie Hawks. As Prairie will convert on the 3rd down. To the tune, where do they mark it? 28 yards. They'll mark it on the 45-yard line. As Taylor now nearing 1,000 yards, John. Coming in, according to the stats, he needed 69 yards. And that run put him over up close to 50. So 1st down at the 45-yard line. They'll hand it off right side, or the direct snap, if you will, and push back right there at about the 42-yard line with Sullivan. And he will go for 3. Nothing fancy in this game so far. 2nd down and 7. As one of the big linemen, that's Braylon Edwards, a sophomore, coming out for Prairie. Hawks taking a look at the sideline, seeing what Linn-Mar is in, and now they'll get things going. Jones in the blocking back right. Kelly in the slot. He'll get it on that counter, John. You were waiting for it. Broke a tackle to the 40 and dives ahead. Close to a first down, but a couple yards short at the 37.
Well, what didn't allow that to convert on the first down was that the edge was set by a defensive end out there on the right side for Linn-Mar, and they didn't allow him to just jaunt around there, outflank them.
3rd down, long 2 coming up for Prairie. 15-7 Linn-Mar. Coming up on halfway right now well, we're getting there on halfway. 7:25 to play here in the second quarter. Ben Ritter Sportswear halftime show coming your way at the break. Kelly slot right side. Hilleman tight in that way on 3rd down and 2. Here's Sullivan on the keeper. Starts right, cuts it back. Close to a first down, but I don't think he got it.
Gonna be close. I don't think these got it either. Gonna be about a half-yard short.
White hit him, and Wenzi also got him. First quarter, 23-0 Pella, and the Dutch could make it at 3-6. He is short. Prairie's going to keep the offense out there, and they will go for it on 4th down and less than a yard. Big play in this one early. Here in the second quarter, they'll go unbalanced to the left side. Now they'll flip-flop and come to the right. 6 in the play clock. Who's going to get it? It's going to be Taylor up the middle. Stutter move, and he's got the first down.
That should do it. He had forward progress to the point where he got the ball well across that line of scrimmage.
3 yards on the gain from Mikel Taylor, and a Prairie first down. As it'll be the Hawks taking it down. Now, you're on that 8 number now. Going to be interesting to see how this strategy plays out for both of these teams throughout the night, since Linn-Mar got that 2-point conversion. First down, Prairie from the Lion 33-yard line. On a steady drive, here's Taylor right up the middle, cuts it to the left, to the 30, to the 25, and close to another first down. Got into the secondary. Will Starnes, the senior safety, brought him down, and looks like he's going to be about a half a yard shy of the first down.
Good patience by Taylor on that run right up the middle, as he had to just stop for a second and assess where there was going to be a crease, and he found a little seam in there, and that was because of his patience.
57 yards now for Mikel Taylor. So it'll be 2nd down and a yard. Let's see if Mark Bliss wants to do something a little exotic here. We'll see. Off the fake, Taylor on the cape, sweeping right, cuts it up at the 20, into the red zone. He's got a first down, stretches it out, and he'll get close to the 19-yard line. That'll move the sticks for a Prairie first down.
Credit the right side of Prairie's offensive line there. Just a nice push by all the guys on that side to get running room.
5 minutes to play in a rapidly moving first half. Both teams basically keeping it on the ground. 15-7 Linn-Mar over Cedar Rapids Prairie, but the Hawks in the red zone. 1st and 10, just inside the 20-yard line. They pick everybody up, start to go left, come back to the right and set. Direct snap to Taylor. Taylor sweeping, cutting it back at the 20 to the 15th. And all the way down, power running to the 12-yard line.
Well, and again, how about that patience, Scott? He just had to stop there because the edge was set again by the defense of Linn-Mar, but yet that opened up an alley right in front of him. And if he doesn't stop and just take a look at what's available to him, he doesn't get any yardage on that. That's just smart running by Taylor.
Colin Velke will come in, and with that run, Mikel Taylor goes over 1,000 yards.
It's so hard to be patient as a running back, but he's doing a great job of it tonight.
Going to get a breather coming out of the ball game after that run of 8. And Sullivan with pretty much an empty backfield will get it. He'll run to the right side, trying to get to the corner. Oh, and hit hard. He got absolutely waylaid by Carter Severson. But enough to move the chains on a gain of 2 for the Prairie first down. Severson with a big hit, 5'10", 180, and a senior. First and goal, and Prairie's going to have to go the entire 10 yards.
Well, they're on the move right now. If they just keep hammering away the way they have in this drive, they should be able to take care of business.
First and goal at the 10, just inside the 10. Play clock to 2, play clock to 1, and Mark Bliss is going to call a timeout. Timeout, Prairie Hawks. 15-7 Linn-Mar. 3:20 to play here in the opening half. Back after this here on CRM Live Sports.
Epiphany Dermatology is a full-service dermatology practice that treats all conditions of the skin, hair, and nails. Dr. John Woolner has been practicing and treating patients for over 30 years. Epiphany Dermatology has built a reputation based on reliable customer service and quality skin and hair loss treatments. Epiphany Dermatology also places a special emphasis on skin cancer prevention, screenings, and treatment. Call them to book an appointment at 363-9936 and visit their website at epiphanydermatology.com. Epiphany Dermatology, 5264 Council Street Northeast, Suite 700 in Cedar Rapids. Looking for the best in commercial and residential flooring? At Schumacher Carpets and More, it's the little things that count. Family owned since 1987, the professionals at Schumacher have what you're looking for. Whether it is carpet, luxury vinyl plank, ceramic, laminate, or wood, their personal service and quality products set Schumacher apart in the flooring industry. Famous for a relaxed and pressure-free shopping experience, let the experts at Schumacher Carpets and More break down your options with just a simple conversation. Call, visit, or request an online quote from their website today.
Back with you after the timeout. Prairie with a first and goal. Taylor back in there. They'll send a man in motion. Taylor on the snap, right up the middle to the 5-yard line. Still on his feet, spinning, and down to about the 3.
And again, just one little opening there that he could have even thought about running to, and his patience allowed him to see the seam and get through it. His vision on this drive, Scott, has been remarkable.
It has been. And great blocking by the Prairie line. Under 3 to play, first half. Here on CRMLiveSports.com. Great to have you with us tonight. Scott Unash, John Hegarty from John Wall Memorial Field. Kelly in the slot right, Hilleman tight end right. Now they'll flip-flop the big tackle and go strong left. Taylor will go to the right instead. He gets high load. Good hit there for the Lions, as coming up and making the stop again was Severson.
Solid hit and tackling in there by the Linn-Mar defense. And we talked about this earlier, but they're so quick, and they just fly to the ball.
Taylor limping out. And that's going to predicate a Prairie timeout. No, Linn-Mar timeout. Linn-Mar is going to talk it over defensively with 2:06 to play until halftime.
That was a tough hit, though. He got high load on that.
Taylor trying to walk it off, but he did limp out. Not noticeably, but did go to the sideline. Linn-Mar with a win assures a playoff spot. If Prairie wins, they will get a home game next week. And if Linn-Mar wins, there's definitely a possibility of a Linn-Mar-Kennedy get-together next week. It's in the cards.
Well, the one thing we know is that Sioux City East is not coming over here to this half of the state. So
no, it's not going to be a straight.
There's not going to be 1 against 16 and 2 against 15 necessarily, because geographical differences will play a little bit of a role in what the pairings do.
As it'll be a 3rd and goal. Mikkel Taylor on the sideline. Velke is in there now as the featured back. And now they're going to go wide side left. Will they run it that way? All kinds of beef over there. Unbalanced that way. They'll run it. Sullivan turns it up, stretching to the end zone, and he got in.
Second effort gets it for him. Had to back it in, though, and put the ball over his head. And here go the fireworks.
Well, you talk about a sustained drive.
That's just what the doctor ordered for Mark Bliss, head coach of Prairie.
8-minute, 32-second drive for Prairie.
And the swinging gate emerges, and we may see a little trickeration here.
Will Prairie try to match Linn-Mar? It's 15-13. They will. Here's Sullivan to throw. Rolls right. Throws in the corner of the end zone. No good. Low. And they say it bounced before Slazak got it.
Yeah, Slazak, he's making his case that he caught that, but I don't think the ball got over the plane.
15-13. It stays with 1:59 to play before halftime. We'll take a quick break, come back with the kickoff after this on CRM Live Sports.
No matter where you are in life, Hills Bank is here to help you succeed. Whether you're buying your first house, saving for your child's future, or preparing for retirement, you can count on the people at Hills Bank for the support you need to reach your goals. It's easy to connect with a banker over the phone or on hillsbank.com because we believe banking is better through human connection. Hills Bank is an equal housing lender and FDIC member. Centrally located in downtown Cedar Rapids, Hard Drive Elite is not your traditional fitness center. While other gyms offer one-size-fits-all solutions, HD Elite specializes in crafting individual workouts based on your specific needs. You'll receive one-on-one attention from an experienced trainer who both designs and provides game-changing service to the area's top youth level and college athletes. No matter what your age, when seeking help with your personal fitness goals, contact the professionals at Hard Drive Elite today.
Here is the kickoff. Mazinski has it to the 10. Little stutter move at the 15 and brought down just shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. About a 15-yard return, and Linn-Mar has 2 timeouts and 1:52 to try to get this downfield. And they've scored in their last 2 possessions. Lions have.
Both teams got 2 touchdowns. The difference is the 2-point conversion by Linn-Mar.
After the fireworks, the smoke is hanging over the field.
Just a little haze.
It's very spooky looking.
Yes, it is.
1st and 10, Lions on their own 19-yard line. They'll run it out of the eye this time. Waller to throw. Stepping up, has time, going deep, has a man out there, and it's underthrown. Contact and no flag.
Now that's a good no call because the ball was not catchable.
I think that was harder back there, and the Linn-Mar fans letting them know about it.
You can watch that all you want on the video, and that was not interference. I'm sorry.
So it'll be 2nd and 10.
Just to illustrate how uncatchable it was, the receiver for Linn-Mar had to turn completely around. He lost track of the ball, didn't even know where it was.
So it'll be 2nd down and 10 as the Lions will scrimmage. Ball middle of the field at the 19. They'll go with the tight end to the left. They're going to throw again. Waller on the throwback screen. It was tipped, but it comes down to Roskup at the 15-yard line and then taken down on a solo tackle right at the line of scrimmage. And that was Brock Harder, the junior, number 14. We got to find out who 2 is.
Well, we got our halftime work cut out for us in that regard. But that was very nearly picked by a defensive lineman for Prairie, and he would have waltzed into the end zone.
And I think we're going to get a Prairie timeout here. And it will be a Hawk timeout to stop the clock on a 3rd down and 9 play coming up. Big play in this ball game with 1:18 to play here in the 2nd quarter. Boy, it's been everything we thought it would be so far.
Pretty even in just about every regard. And we talked about the fact that this is all the earmarks of one of those games that could come down to the last possession. And we have seen some of those here at John Wall Field in the last couple of years.
Al Burnett 28-13 just ahead of halftime. And you've got Roland's, let's see. You got Clorinda leading Roland Story 18-7. Davenport West in a big 5A game tonight. They need a win and probably an Urbandale loss to get in. And they're ahead of Muscatine in the 2nd quarter, 14-0. It'd be a 7-2 Davenport West year, though.
Wow, can you imagine that? And then what a wonderful season, the resurgence that they've had, the Falcons, and boy, I'd sure like to see them get in. That deserves to be rewarded with a playoff position in my book.
Third down. Linn-Mar is a perfect 3 of 3 on third downs. Waller under center, rolls to the right, looking to throw. Has time, throws on the run, and a bullet to the far sideline, and it's caught. TJ Jackson's got it for the first down at the 34-yard line.
Prairie had the nickel package in there, all kinds of defenders back there, but that sideline ball was thrown exactly where it needed to be.
4 out of 4 now in the ball game. Check that, 4 out of 5. And Linn-Mar will have a 1st and 10.
Jackson did not get out of bounds, however, so the clock is ticking.
48 seconds. 1st and 10 from the 34-yard line. In the shotgun, one setback. Muszynski in motion. Fake it to him. Hand off to Henderson. First down, 40, 45, and he'll get 11.
And that will stop the clock as the chains move.
Henderson up to 68 yards. Linn-Mar's got one timeout in the back pocket, and they're going to use it. So, well, check that. They have 2, so they'll have 1 remaining. Timeout taken here by the Lions. We'll look at scores coming up at halftime for you of the regular season games and the playoff games as well. And tell you what, if Wash loses tonight in 4A, and they are in bad shape right now, 4A is going to get crazy tonight.
Can't even imagine a 3-6 team getting in when 2 teams in Wash's district that they have beaten
could get in.
Lets them get in, and aces Wash out. Oh my goodness, Wash is going to have to stage a rally. They've got a whole second half to do it. It's possible they can do it, but they're going to have to come together in a hurry.
Here it's Linn-Mar 15, Prairie 13, 35 seconds remaining in the first half. Linn-Mar's got a 1st and 10 at the 45. And Linn-Mar has 1 timeout remaining. Ball far hash mark. 4-man front for the Hawks. TJ Jackson in motion to the left. Waller going to throw it out to him on the little receiver screen. 45-50 flag down, and Jackson's out of bounds. Might get a hold on the edge there, John.
Yeah, one of the wide receivers that was blocking out there grabbed a little bit of cloth, and this is going to be coming back for Linn-Mar.
I'm sure the Prairie sideline probably helped too.
It was right in front of them.
First penalty of the night. It's been a very clean game for Linn-Mar. But that's going to be a big one right there. Tim Lovell just kind of stalking the sideline over there on the far side. His 2nd year at the helm of Linn-Mar after coming over from Marion. First down at 14, back to the 41. See if they keep it on the ground. Back to throw Waller, being chased, throws on the run. Muszynski coming back, makes the catch at the 46-yard line, and the Lions will use that last time out. Boy, what hands that young Muszynski has.
Waller had numerous black jerseys chasing and breathing down his neck. I'm not sure I know how he got rid of that and threw the strike.
That was a sophomore to a sophomore right there. And a timeout. That'll be the last for the first half for Linn-Mar. Prairie does have 1 left with 19 seconds to play here in the 2nd quarter, and it is all Dutch. 30-0. Pella. Whew.
And there's still over 5 minutes to play in the 2nd quarter.
Now keep in mind, and we'll say this, other than the loss to Newton, Pella played 5 heavyweights in the non-district.
And
lost them all.
And that's right. And throw on top of that the unique opportunity that they had in this one game tonight with all the chips on the table. Jay McKinstry has been down there, head coach at Pella, and had lots of success for a reason.
2nd down and 9 here for Linn-Mar at the 46. Shotgun snap back to Waller. Going to throw the middle of the field, and they tried to hook and ladder, and they're going to call that a completion and a fumble.
Yeah, I think that's what it should be.
Roskup caught it, tried to flip it back to Muszynski, and now the officials are going to talk it over. Chains haven't moved yet.
That would be the correct call in my book. That was a completed pass, but he didn't keep it in very long.
And it will be a fumble.
That's a fumble.
So it will be the second turnover of the ball game for the Lions. So give a 12-yard completion, and then they tried the little hook and ladder.
So as crazy as this sounds, Linn-Mar with the 15-13 lead has had 4 offensive possessions, and 2 of them have yielded fumbles.
And scored on the other 2. Just 12 seconds to play. Here in the first half, Prairie with 1 timeout. Sullivan, short drop, looking to throw. Gonna gun the near side, and it is incomplete. As Stearns was the closest guy, and that took 5 seconds. We're down to 7 seconds to play in the half. Prairie will get the second half kickoff.
Well, the way these possessions are going right now, you got to value every one of them and try and get something on the board, even if it's a field goal. Both teams only having 4 offensive possessions here in this first half.
Linn-Mar defensive coaches telling their defensive backs, get back, get back.
The prevent is being screamed right now.
Yes, it is. Second down and 10 from the 42. Possibly the final play of the first half. And now Sullivan in trouble, a flag down, and he's drugged down right at the line of scrimmage. 1 tick remaining, and it's going to be a hold on Prairie. You make it second down and 23 or third and 10. And they're going to make it third and 10. With, again, 1 second to play. And they'll start the clock. That will take us to halftime. Very entertaining first half here from John Wall Memorial Field. And our score at the halftime break is Linn-Mar 15, Cedar Rapids Prairie 13. We'll take a break, come back, talk halftime with you right after this here on CRM Live Sports.
Attention athletes and weekend warriors. Want to be the best that you can be? CMF Kinesiology can help. Chris Fauchier, a competitive distance runner and swimmer with a Master of Science in Kinesiology, will lead you in your wellness and fitness journey. CMF Kinesiology is a functional movement, sports conditioning, and orthopedic rehabilitation studio in Cedar Rapids, working with the general public and athletes to improve movement quality, physical prowess, and overall wellness. So whether you are looking to better yourself or seek physical rehabilitation, look to CMF Kinesiology, 3800 River Ridge Drive, Northeast Cedar Rapids, and at cmfkinesiology.com. Your search for healthy, fast casual in the downtown is over. Whether it's a quick bite you're looking for or a freshly made smoothie, NutriSport and Smoothie has expanded healthy eating in downtown Cedar Rapids. Business professionals, as well as gym goers, are singing the praises of their freshly made wraps and breakfast bowls, while the smoothie lover can choose from a variety of nutritious fruit and protein options, including your choice of adding the newest Frontline supplements. For a fast, healthy, and convenient downtown option, look no further than NutriSport and Smoothie. First Federal Credit Union is proud to sponsor high school athletics. We understand the hard work and dedication it takes for these students to succeed on the field or in the classroom. At First Federal Credit Union, we work hard every day to listen, solve problems, and are dedicated to finding ways to help you with your financial needs. From home loans to auto loans, checking, or even the best savings rates in town, we're here to help you achieve your goals. Learn more about First Federal Credit Union at firstfedcu.com, member NCUA. Bim Ritter Sportswear in Cedar Rapids is your complete apparel and headwear provider. Bim Ritter is your one-stop store for screen print and embroidery for polos, t-shirts, hats, and more for any age from newborn to adults. Need screen printing or embroidery for your company or a special event? Bim Ritter is the answer, as they work with local teams, clubs, organizations, and businesses from startup to finish to provide the look that you need with exceptional turnaround time. Bim Ritter is also the local apparel supplier for the Cedar Rapids Colonels and Rough Riders. Bim Ritter Sportswear, 817 2nd Avenue Southeast in Cedar Rapids. Call them at 364-3479 and visit them online at bimritter.com.
Senior night for the Prairie Hawk Marching Band here as we rejoin you at halftime from John Wall Memorial Field on the College Community Schools campus. Scott Unash, John Hegarty with you. And a very fine first half, 15-13, as Linn-Mar started off with the fumble. Prairie got the short porch, went in on, I believe, 3 plays with Cal Sullivan taking it in from a yard out, and it was 7-0. But then Linn-Mar scored, and then next 2 drives, Carter Henderson 15 and 19-yard touchdown runs. They had the swinging gate. They went for 2 on one of those touchdowns and ended up with a 15-7 lead. And then Prairie came back on an 8-minute, 32-second drive. Cal Sullivan's second touchdown of the night, and that one from 3 yards out. And it was 15-13 as the extra point try for 2 was no good. And that's where we are here at the halftime break. And a lot of good
Hearts out, lots of emotion out here, playing with a high level of intensity. And, you know, as a coach, sometimes that's, even if you go in with the disadvantage at halftime, you can say, you know, it's not because of a lack of effort. And I think that's both coaches right now can say that about their team.
Take a look at the first half stats. Linn-Mar with the edge in total yards, 152 unofficially to 120 for Cedar Rapids Prairie. Linn-Mar 70 on the ground, through the air 82 yards, and a good first half for quarterback Austin Waller. He's 7 of 9 for 82 yards in the first half of play. Roskup with 4 catches for 33, and then a catch apiece for Jackson. Muzinski caught the big 45-yarder, and Henderson with a catch as well. On the ground, Carter Henderson with 11 carries, 68 yards, 2 touchdowns, and Muzinski 2 carries for 4 yards in the first half of play. For Prairie, 120 their total yardage, 104 on the ground, 16 through the air. Cal Sullivan is 1 of 5 for 16 yards, and that was a pass to Apollo Payne in the first half. On the ground, Mikkel Taylor over the 1,000-yard mark tonight, as he has 11 carries for 77 yards. Cal Sullivan has carried the ball 8 times for 18 yards in the first half, and both Prairie touchdowns. Kelly with 2 carries for 9 yards. First downs, Linn-Mar with 8. Prairie has 6. Penalty-wise, the Hawks with 3 penalties, but 2 majors and 35 yards. Linn-Mar with the 1 penalty for 10. Lions with 2 turnovers in that first half of play, but Linn-Mar was 4 out of 4 on third downs in that first half, while Prairie was 2 of 5, 1 out of 1 on fourth down. And time of possession, Prairie with the advantage based on that 8-minute, 32-second drive. 13 minutes, 21 seconds to 10:39. Pretty even, Steven, first half.
Really is. It feels like an even game to me, even though we look at the scoreboard, and it's 15-13 Linn-Mar. But, yeah, in almost every aspect of this game, you've got 2 evenly matched teams. It's going to be a shame, but somewhere in this last 24 minutes, somebody's going to have to go down, and somebody's going to be awful happy.
Yeah, and in a rivalry game, that's kind of the way it should be, right?
Well, what was the common denominator, Scott, in both of your interviews in the coaches section of the pregame?
Well, I asked each specifically, hey, you don't have to say a whole lot tonight, do you?
And did you notice that without probably consulting each other, they both used the exact same verbiage?
Yes, they did.
No love lost between these 2 schools.
No. But I think for the most part, there is a lot of respect between the 2 football programs.
Yes, and there hasn't been anything that I would say is out of line, overtly unsportsmanlike or chippy. I don't see a lot of people chirping at each other down there right now. They're just playing football as hard as they can.
Yeah, and that's the way it should be in a rivalry game. Of course, we got a lot of things happening. We got playoffs going on, and that is in 2A, 1A, A, and Class 8 player. Then you have 5A, 4A, and 3A having their final night of the regular season. They'll get into the playoffs coming up next week. On the Eagles Hideaway out-of-town scoreboard, you've got right now Davenport West in a big game at 5A, leading Muscatine 21-0 at Brady Street. So looks like the Falcons are in pretty good shape.
Yeah, they went in
so far. Waukee had to win and get in, and it ain't going to happen. Halftime, it's Dowling 30-0 over Waukee. I don't know if there's anybody playing better than Dowling right now.
Dowling not happy about the fact that they have not been in the state championship game for a while.
Fairfield leading Grinnell. That is for a second-place spot in a 4A district, 14-7, and that is in the second half. How about this? You talk about a team that you can't figure out this year. They're at halftime at Pleasant Valley.
Oh, no.
PV and Iowa City West, 14-14.
Oh, no. Iowa City West, it's like they're bipolar, aren't they?
Halftime, Cedar Falls and Dubuque Senior, 7-7. There's some weird things happening tonight. Not at Grundy Center.
Well, we're a week away from Halloween, and sometimes that happens.
Third quarter, they lead Belle Plaine in a Class A first rounder, 49-0. That is in the third quarter. Osage leading Clarion Goldfield Dows 28-12. That is in the third quarter. And let's see. We got Mason City and Western Dubuque going at it tonight, as well as a lot of Wisconsin playoffs, John. In case you're interested, I can get you some scores.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about that.
Second quarter, it's Western Dubuque leading Mason City 7-0. Bobcats are going to be in the playoffs.
They've been on a roll, haven't they?
They really have, and you got to watch out for them. Marion in the second quarter leading Waterloo East 28-0 in the final game at Thomas Park.
How many years there?
87 years.
Wow.
They have played football at Thomas Park. And it will come to a conclusion tonight. They have invited all alumni back, football players, anybody associated with football, to have one final senior walk.
Can you imagine how many cameras are going to be videotaping that?
Absolutely.
You will see that on social media tonight, I promise.
Newton is leading a game. I don't have that score, but it does say Newton is out in front.
Yeah, I've got that. It's 21-0 over CCA, and that from the first quarter.
CCA has lost their quarterback, and they have just not been the same team. And that's too bad down there for Coach Hattie. And Wapsie Valley leading St. Ansgar. That is 28-0. Also, it is still in the third quarter, Pella Christian leading Iowa City Regina 14-0. That was one of the top games in 1A going into action tonight. And also, find some more scores.
I've got one from Xavier and Oski.
Okay.
Just early in first quarter yet, Xavier having no trouble getting out to the fast start, 28-0.
33-0 Pella leading Washington. Just ahead of halftime.
That's a head scratcher, and I just don't quite understand it, except that how many times do you hear me say, Scott, it's high school football and things just happen?
Xavier is now 35-0 midway through the second quarter, and the continuous clock has been implemented.
So we know that there's a bevy of Saints that will be hitting the field.
Yeah. Did you see that Mr. Johnson's tweet that immediately following the game, Dwayne Schulte and his wife
Columbus
are driving all night to Columbus.
I didn't know they would drive, but I knew they'd find a way there.
And they are driving all night. We wish them the best. Liberty in the second quarter leading Clinton 14-0. Liberty would be 8-1.
And you know what? Liberty had that one loss in hand. They were up 2 scores with less than 5 minutes left in the game up there at Western Dubuque, and the Bobcats came back and got them. In my book, Liberty should be 9-0.
Williamsburg at halftime leading Comanche. That is a 28-0 lead. Big game at 4A. Lamar's leading Fort Dodge 14-0. That is an impactful game for Marion. They really needed Lamar's to drop that game tonight. So that might be bad news for the Wolves. And, boy, you hate to see Marion and Wash be on the outside looking in. But if Newton holds on, Pella holds on, and Wash, it's going to be 2-2-2, and then they go to the RPI, and that's going to be Newton. So Pella might still be out. And Newton beat Pella head-to-head, too.
That's right.
So I think that would make I don't know. Wash going to have a tough bus ride back.
Yeah, either way.
As things not going down very well in Pella, Dutch land right here. 15-13, Linn-Mar leading Prairie, and we have an elongated halftime with the senior night activities for the Prairie band members as well, and they are out there. So we got about 10 minutes remaining here at halftime.
Well, kudos to the good folks at College Community because their band is spectacular. I mean, they're just a fine, fine marching band, and they should be extremely proud, and I know they are. But this is one of the better spectacles we've seen at halftime this year.
Yeah, they do a fantastic job. Fantastic job. See if we can find some other scores here. Applington-Parkersburg in the third quarter. No problem with Eagle Grove, 56-0. West Branch, 28-0 at halftime over South Hardin. The Washington Demons leading West Burlington in the third quarter, 14-0. Two-way playoff game. This is a good one. Waterloo-Columbus leading the Denver Cyclones, 14-0. Also in the second quarter, in a Class A playoff game, Columbus Junction leading Maquoketa Valley 28-14. Dyke New Hartford at half leading Cascade 27-7. How about this? Second quarter, 8-player. Don Bosco 20, Winfield Mount Union 18. That's at Gilbertville.
Bosco knows how to make a playoff run, don't they?
They do, but they're having a little trouble. Now remember, Winfield Mount Union's got the, I'm not sure if he's committed to Iowa or not, the Buffington kid. Really good player. BGM and Easton Valley are tied at 14. That one in the second quarter. East Buchanan leading Lisbon 20-7. That's a second quarter score. Also in playoff action, Dubuque Wahlert at the Rock Bowl rocking West Liberty 41-0.
They kind of woke back up, didn't they? They had a little lull in the middle of the season, but they're awake and alive now.
And looking to get into the second round.
Yes.
Marshalltown at halftime leading Des Moines North 15-8. The Polar Bears have been one of the good stories this year too.
And everybody is happy about that. If you cheer for the underdog, that's a great story.
MFL Marmac leading Durant 27-6. That is a halftime score in a playoff game as well. And also Waco leading Martinsdale St. Mary's 35-6 in a playoff game. Two-way playoff, Waukon leading New Hampton 14-6 in a battle of Northeast Iowa Conference rivals. And my scoreboard just blanked out on me. That's kind of the way it goes sometimes, John. There we go. We got it back. Back and ready to go here. It's now 14-14 Waukon in New Hampton. How about that? Newton leading Clear Creek Amana, as you mentioned. No score yet from Kingston. Southeast Polk coming up to take on the Jayhawks tonight. Solon is rolling down at Keokuk 28-0. Liberty now 28-0 in the second quarter over Clinton, and Marion 28-0 over Waterloo East. North Scott, second quarter 21-0 over Mount Pleasant. And Mount Vernon, a 34-0 lead at Vinton-Shellsburg right now. So those are your scores here at the halftime break as the Prairie Band wrapping up their performance here on their senior night. 15-13, the Linn-Mar Lions out in front of Cedar Rapids Prairie. We'll step aside, take a break, come back, have some more halftime for you from John Wall Memorial Field. And we'll do it after this as you're listening to high school football here on CRM Live Sports.
Looking for reliable and professional plumbing service in the metro area? Look no further than Evans Plumbing. From the smallest and simplest jobs to large commercial plumbing needs, Evans Plumbing will strive to exceed expectations by ensuring that all plumbing work is done to the highest of standards. Evans Plumbing uses only the highest quality parts and equipment to ensure customer satisfaction is guaranteed, and 24-hour emergency service is available. Evans Plumbing, 5070 18th Avenue Southwest, and at evansmasterplumber.com. Cedar Rapids Millwork, providing outstanding service to Eastern Iowa for over 50 years. Quality products, including windows, doors, moldings, hardware, stair parts, specialties, and cabinets. Locally owned and operated, Cedar Rapids Millwork has in-house production providing innovative quality services for contractors and their customers of the corridor. Cedar Rapids Millwork, 1950 Progress Drive in Hiawatha, and online at cedarrapidsmillwork.com. Bim Ritter Sportswear in Cedar Rapids is your complete apparel and headwear provider. Bim Ritter is your one-stop store for screen print and embroidery for polos, t-shirts, hats, and more for any age from newborn to adults. Need screen printing or embroidery for your company or a special event? Bim Ritter is the answer, as they work with local teams, clubs, organizations, and businesses from startup to finish to provide the look that you need with exceptional turnaround time. Bim Ritter is also the local apparel supplier for the Cedar Rapids Colonels and Rough Riders. Bim Ritter Sportswear, 817 2nd Avenue Southeast in Cedar Rapids. Call them at 364-3479 and visit them online at bimritter.com.
Big thanks to Gary Fick and everybody at Bim Ritter Sportswear, downtown Cedar Rapids. You've been listening to the Bim Ritter Sportswear Halftime Show. They're located at 817 2nd Avenue Southeast. Need screen printing or embroidery for your company or special event? Give them a call at 364-3479 or website at bimritter.com. Lions making their way out onto the south end zone here at John Wall Memorial Field, and the Prairie Hawks will be making their way out here coming up in a moment. Prairie will get the ball first, John, to start the second half, and going to be interesting to see any changes made by both of these squads.
It will be. And the one thing that I know the coaches are talking about amongst themselves and their teams, however, is how both sides only had 4 possessions in that first half. And, Linn-Mar, in their case, they had 2 touchdowns, and then they fumbled it away on the other 2 kind. So you've got to value every possession in a tight game like this with everything that is at stake. Even if you just go down and get a field goal, that's a huge success. But maybe the game will open up in a little bit. So far, things have been played kind of close to the chest. And that's not to say that we haven't seen deep passes attempted and completed. We have. But so far, you got to value every possession at this stage of the game.
Great crowd on hand. Linn-Mar's side on the opposite side. On the east stands completely full. They've got people along the fence. There are people up on the hillside back there behind the north end zone, John. And the Prairie crowd also filling their section. And knew there was going to be a big crowd for this one here tonight. Great to see that on a beautiful Friday night for high school football. Still 65 degrees and calm conditions. We've been at Prairie twice this year without wind. How about that?
That's almost crazy. This is the windiest spot on the planet.
Here come the Hawks back out onto the field turf as we get ready for our second half of play. Our second half brought to you by Epiphany Dermatology. Dr. John Woolner with over 30 years of experience. Find him at 5264 Council Street Northeast or call 363-9936. Playoffs start next Friday for 5A, 4A, and 3A. They will have the teams tonight probably just past 11 o'clock. That's when it was last week.
Final RPIs.
Final RPIs. Might be a little bit ahead because it's 3 classes instead of 4 for tonight, and RPI is a little easier to determine than all the rigmarole they had to go through with the other classes last week. But 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, they will come out with the playoff pairings.
Far cry from the old days, isn't it?
Yeah, when you used to stay. I remember one year it was 1:20.
Hit and refresh at 1:20 in the morning. I mean, that, you're a fan of high school football when you're doing that.
Yeah, and crashing the they are crashing the computers in the old times.
Well, they did. They brought the network down a couple of times.
They did. But Kel Taylor's out there.
He looks like he's showing no ill effects whatsoever from the injury that kept him from finishing the first half.
John, I'm going to send you on a mission.
We got to find number 2,
yes.
Don't we? I'll be right back.
All right. John's going to go find out who number 2 is. And we will get that squared away and taken care of. As Linn-Mar scoring on a pair of Carter Henderson runs, 15 yards and 9 yards. After the first touchdown, Lions went for 2. and got it on the swinging gate. And then Prairie has scored twice. Second time, their touchdown, they tried for 2 off the swinging gate, and they were unsuccessful. So that's where we are at. A missed 2-pointer. All right, we've got our man, Maurice Turner, I beg your pardon. Maurice Turner is our guy. Taylor, or you say Turner or Taylor? There's a Maurice Turner. I'm trying to find a Maurice Taylor here. Or is it Turner? He wears number 12. You're looking at
the scouting sheet.
Coach Dostal's sheet here, aren't you?
That doesn't have numbers on it, though.
No. Let me take a peek at it there, and maybe I can find that name. So this first possession for Prairie and Linn-Mar are going to be pretty darn important at this present time.
Well, what I always say is that one of the last things that you always are told is by your coaching staff is we get the ball to start this second half. The mission is clear. We have got to go down and score on our first possession, and that is extremely important this time.
Fromm already with the tee out there and walks it up to the 40-yard line. Prairie will defend this, or make that Linn-Mar will defend the south goal here to start the second half. Here from John Wall Memorial Field at Cedar Rapids Prairie on a beautiful, beautiful night for football.
Linn-Mar's home field.
For one game.
Yeah.
One game. That was the Pleasant Valley game earlier on while they were awaiting the turf.
Which they took Pleasant Valley right down to the wire on that one before yielding 14-7.
Well, and Iowa City West doing that tonight. All right, set to go. From the lefty, we'll get ready to kick it off, and it will be Maurice Turner along with Casey Kelly back there. Also, the middleman up front is Colin Velke for the Prairie Hawks. Linn-Mar in the white jerseys, red numbers, trimmed in black, red helmets with the gray pants. The Georgia look-alike away uniforms, Prairie in their breast cancer awareness black and pink tonight. Here we go, second half underway. Low kick, takes a bounce, picked up in a hop at the 10, 15, Kelly to the 20, to the outside, 25, cuts it up at the 30, flag down, 40, and Kelly down at the 45-yard line, but a flag down as well as Emerson Gasper made the stop, the punter on special teams for Linn-Mar.
Going to have a block in the back.
Linn-Mar has played the cleaner of the 2 games, despite 2 turnovers. Now, one was on a attempted hook and ladder at the end of the half. And Prairie's going to be backed up inside their own 20.
Ooh, instead of starting out at midfield, they're going all the way back inside the 20 to the 18.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for Cedar Rapids Prairie. Cal Sullivan has gone all the way at quarterback. Mikkel Taylor back in there for the Hawks. Casey Kelly, the wing back. It's been ground Prairie tonight. Only one completed pass for the Hawks. 16 on the play clock as they break the huddle with a 1st and 10 to start the second half. Now they will shift, start left, and they come back to the right with 6 in the play clock. They'll send a man in motion, direct snap to Taylor, stuttering in the backfield. Now takes it off the right side and gets about 2 to the 20-yard line.
Is it me, or is Mark Bliss trying to get as many free 5-yard encroachment penalties as he can by all these shifts and up-down motions? I've never seen him do this many, Scott.
No. Carter Lewen's on the stop that time for Linn-Mar, the sophomore linebacker. 2nd down and 8 from the 20-yard line. Same formation. And again, that direct snap, sweeping the right side, cutting it back is Taylor. 2 more. To set up a 3rd and 6 as he'll take it to the 22-yard line.
A lot of black jerseys out there leading the way for Taylor blocking, but good pursuit on the backside by Linn-Mar's defense, bottled that up.
Third down and a long 5. Just underway, a minute into the second half. Linn-Mar by 2, 15-13. Third down for Prairie. Sullivan with an empty backfield. Looking to throw, going to throw the slant, and it's caught for a first down at the 30-yard line with a flag down, though. And we'll see what the flag is about, as the catch made by Mikkel Taylor, who is the second leading receiver for Prairie. And we're going to have an ineligible receiver downfield on the Hawks.
Oh, the penalties right now. Mark Bliss is going out to talk to the linesman on his side, trying to figure out exactly why that was called the way it was.
Mark Bliss doesn't usually question.
No, he is
calls.
not a grousing coach whatsoever.
Well, somebody must have been covered up and went out. And we'll make it a third down and 10 coming up for Prairie after the 5-yard penalty. Already their second of the second half. And we're 90 seconds into the third quarter.
Wagamaster checking in.
He and Kelly will go out to the left side. One receiver out to the right. 7 on the play clock. Linn-Mar with a 4-man front. They show blitz. They'll back it off. Back to throw is Sullivan. Has time. Now steps up in the pocket. He's going to run. Cuts it up at the 20-yard line. Gets to the 24, and that's it. He'll pick up about 6, but it'll be a punt situation coming up for Prairie. And that'll be the first 3 and out of the night for either team.
Just shot themselves in the foot twice with penalties on that particular possession. And that's not the way you want to come out of the locker room when you've got the ball first.
Slazak's going to punt it this time for the Hawks, as T.J. Jackson will drop to the 45-yard line. Good snap back, and the rugby-style kick, and he's going to run it. He's going to try for the first down. Tripped up.
Oh, he didn't get it.
What a play over there for the Lions on special teams by Colton Waller, the senior.
Got the shoestring tackle just before the conversion would have been made. And this is a revolting change of possession for Prairie, as Linn-Mar's going to come out and take over at the Prairie 21-yard line. Excuse me, 26.
Oh, John, that could be our play of the game right there.
Oh, my.
Later on, brought to you by Carpenter's Local 308.
Put an asterisk by that one. We'll come back and look at it later.
So it'll be first down at the 26 of Prairie for the Linn-Mar Lions, up 15-13. As Prairie rolled the dice and came up empty. Jackson in motion to left. They'll toss it to Carter Henderson. Got a good kick-out block. 25 to the 20. Splits defenders. 15. Taking people with him down to the 13-yard line. What a run. Henderson got half of it.
No containment on the outside there. Made that very difficult on the Prairie defense, and just hard charging running by Henderson.
And going to have a penalty flag. It's going to be a sideline warning on Prairie.
Man, the Hankies are just coming out in full force now, although that doesn't do anything on the field. But just Prairie kind of just off kilter right now.
So it'll be first down and 10. Linn-Mar can get a first down at the 1-yard line. As official writing some things down here, I believe. And now we'll get back into play. Here we go. First down. Lions out of the eye with Mesh, the fullback, in front of Henderson. They'll give it on the counter delay. Henderson breaking a tackle. Stiff arm 10. Henderson 5, and he's in. Touchdown, Linn-Mar.
That's just a tough 11-yard scamper. The stiff arm took care of the first guy, and an arm tackle that got busted, he let him go into the end zone.
11-yard touchdown run. That's the hat trick for Carter Henderson tonight. If you remember, John, I asked Tim Lovell, you're looking for a silver lining in that injury. You got a very, very fresh Carter Henderson going in possibly to the postseason.
Indeed.
Fromm's extra point try up, and it is good. And it is a 22-13 lead now for Linn-Mar. It is a 2-score cushion with 9:05 to play here in the third quarter. We'll take a break, come back to John Wall Field after this here on CRM Live Sports.
Does your business need signs, nameplates, or name badges? Looking to recognize an employee, athlete, or student for a job well done, or promote your next big event? Letter Perfect in Cedar Rapids has what you need to identify, recognize, and promote. ADA-compliant office signs, industrial signs, full-color signs, dimensional letters, personalized plaques, and awards of all kinds, and thousands of items to customize with your company logo to promote your business. Letter Perfect, 5412 Centerpoint Road Northeast, and online at letperfect.com.
2-score game here at John Wall Field. That fourth down play, what a big change of direction of this football game. And it will be Linn-Mar to kick it away. Here's the boot. Line drive kick, returnable, coming down middle of the field. Kelly 20 to the 25. He got hammered. Absolutely bombed by Isaac Guerrero.
Oh, we have seen Guerrero do that before this season when we did the Southeast Polk Linn-Mar game. He is an assassin.
Wow. High fives all around in the Linn-Mar sideline for Isaac Guerrero. 5'10", 150-pound junior. And Prairie will have it 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line.
Man, that was the collision of the game right there. To this point, anyway.
So Prairie will have Sullivan and Taylor in the backfield. And off the fake, Sullivan back to throw. Now steps up in the pocket. He's going to run. Tries to kick it to the outside. Gets to the 30 and then push back. First person to make contact for the Lions was Tyler Satterley. Is that 54 or 52? That was 52 Watts. And now we've got an injured Lion. Might be Jack White, the middle linebacker. Gain of 5 there for Sullivan. As Linn-Mar training staff out there, Tim Lovell going to come out and take a look at the injured party as well. With 8:38 to play in the third quarter.
Always easy to spot Tim Lovell when he comes out. He wears his baseball cap backwards with his headset, and he's got a big heart. It's one of the things that coaches always just tell you that rips their heartstrings is when their players get injured. And let's hope that he's on his back right now, but let's hope that he's be able to get up and shake this off maybe after a play or two.
Yeah, Tim Lovell has the young man's helmet. They took it off right there.
On his back with his knees up. Was moving around initially, was actually face down before he rolled over on his back. Not really reaching or clutching at anything.
Now they're helping him up, and we'll see who it is.
Maybe just got the wind knocked out of him.
I think it is Jack White. And it is. And he'll come off.
Might have just had to reinflate the lungs a little bit.
So he'll go to the sideline for at least a play. And we'll get back to action here. 2nd down and 5. And Linn-Mar with a 2-score lead in this one. There's that amoeba formation for Prairie. Now they'll get out of it. And a direct snap, sweep, left side. Taylor started up the middle, kicked it outside, and brought down. Good tackle. Over there on the far side, Reed Recker coming up from his safety spot to bring him down.
Yeah, it's the wide side of the field with all kinds of blockers out in front. They didn't defensively set an edge, the Lions didn't, but they strung it out all the way to the sideline.
Only a gain of a yard, and another big 3rd down in this ball game coming up for the Prairie Hawks. 3rd down and 4, wide side of the field to the right from the 32. They'll split Hilleman along with Cade Stout to the right. One back in the backfield. Down to 7 on the play clock. Direct snap. Sullivan gets it, and he sweeps the right side for a first down. They'll move the chains on a gain of 5. Prairie has not had many third down conversions tonight,
which is uncharacteristic because they're usually so far ahead of the chains all the time that they don't have to worry about it, but that hasn't been the case this evening.
So the Hawks will have it at the 37-yard line with a first down and 10. And they're pulling out every trick in the book.
They're doing anything they can to get a free 5 yards.
And tell you what, give Linn-Mar a lot of credit for not jumping. Here's the end around, and not far for Cade Stout. He'll take it to the 40-yard line. And that'll be a gain of 3. Stout's first carry of the night on that little in run. 22-13 in favor of the Lions here in the third quarter, coming up on the halfway mark already. And a 2nd down and 7 coming up for Cedar Rapids Prairie. Hawks are in the postseason. And with a win tonight, they can get a home game. Linn-Mar, with the win, is in. With a loss, then they got to sweat it out a little bit. 2nd down and 7. Snap to Sullivan, rolling to the right. And his pass knocked down. Incomplete. Kennick Lechtenberg, the junior linebacker, came in there to knock it down. Linn-Mar with a couple guys named Kennick on the team.
That was just a great individual effort. He saw the ball with the arm cocked, and all he had to, that within his power to do to stop that play was to get a piece of the ball, and he did that.
3rd and 7 from the 40-yard line. 4 receivers, 2 left, 2 right for Prairie. Linn-Mar showing the blitz, and here they come. Picked up. Sullivan throws the far side. Catch made for a first down. And that was by Mikkel Taylor.
Yeah, that was clutch.
And now we've got an injured Hawk, one of the receivers.
This is a cramp.
Yeah, it's Apollo Payne.
Go figure, in week 9 we've got a cramping situation.
And that pickup was 11. And another 3rd down conversion on this drive for Cedar Rapids Prairie.
That was a clutch pass and catch there by Sullivan and Taylor to keep this drive alive.
Bliss out there to take a look at Apollo Payne. Boy, you usually don't see cramping situations on week 9.
Not at all.
But I think that's what we have. Hopefully that is the case. But it showed all the telltale signs of a cramping situation. And Payne is up. Yeah, just trying to stretch that thing out. So we'll get back to action here as Prairie has moved it to the Lion 49. With a first down in Linn-Mar territory. 22-13 Lions. Here from John Wall Memorial Field. Wagamaster into the ball game. Split out into the slot to the right. Casey Kelly far right side. Right now, nobody within 10 yards of him. And they'll hand it on the jet sweep to Mikkel Taylor. Trying to get outside, nothing doing. Great defense by Linn-Mar.
Tackle for loss.
And we got another injured player. This is a Lion going down.
And if you're wondering how hard these two teams are going at it, this is some of the evidence that would further the case there. All of a sudden, the training staffs have been very busy.
And I think this might be a cramp. As they're lifting that leg, another telltale sign of a cramping situation. We have the continuous clock at Pella, 40-0 in favor of the Dutch.
And they just started the third quarter.
Wow.
There's still 10 minutes left in the third.
Will Starnes, the injured player, and he is walking off under his own power after getting that cramp worked on. 2nd down and 10. as Prairie, they're bringing in the big sophomore Edwards as an extra lineman when they go unbalanced. So they're going to go with the regular group of 5 up front. 4 receivers this time in this package. Sullivan looking right, going to throw the quick out, and the catch made. And Cade Stout with the catch. Quickly covered up by a couple of Lions led by Marcus Kohlrich, a 5'9" senior.
I'm not sure Roskop's come off the field tonight, has he?
No.
Man, he has just been dynamite on both sides of the ball for Linn-Mar.
Only a junior. This is a pretty young Lion team. Some sophomores starting, a lot of juniors. Of course, Carter Henderson is a senior. 3rd down and 4. Prairie is 2 for 2 on this drive on 3rd down conversion. Sullivan to throw, a pump fake. Now is going to run, takes it, and takes on a tackler and gets the first down. Down to the Lion 38-yard line on a gain of 5.
And another clutch run by Sullivan.
Now Prairie's starting to pick up 3rd downs, like Linn-Mar has been doing all night. 5 out of 10 now in the ball game, and 3 out of 3 in this drive for Cedar Rapids Prairie.
Sullivan showing his moxie from the quarterback position there to put his helmet and shoulder pads down and get that ball across for the conversion.
Going to play some college baseball is Cal Sullivan. First down from the 38-yard line. Sullivan throws, and a sliding catch made by Taylor, but it's right at the line of scrimmage.
They're going to actually mark that for a yard loss.
So 2nd down and a little more than 10. Another one of those Prairie drives that is eating clock.
Yeah, it's just achingly slow for right now if you're on the college community side of the ledger here.
22-13 in favor of Linn-Mar. As Prairie will have it 2nd down, a little bit more than 10 from the Lion 39. And Sullivan on the quarterback draw. Comes left, 35, stretches toward about the 32-yard line. So he'll take it for about 7.
Taylor flanked out about as wide to the sideline on that formation as he could get. If they're using him as a decoy and then all of a sudden they're going to come back and throw to him at some point. And he's flanking out to the opposite side of the field now as a slot.
So empty backfield. Payne back into the ball game after the cramp. He and Taylor to the left. It's Wagamaster and Kelly to the right. On 3rd down and 4, play clock at 9. Sullivan off the snap, looking to throw, throws the out. It's caught by Apollo Payne for a first down. Linn-Mar corners are given pretty big cushions right now, John.
They are, and that sideline hitch is just easy pitch and catch for Sullivan.
And that's going to be a gain of 6 and another Prairie first down. Second catch.
Yeah, second time in this drive that they've come to that play when they needed to get the chains moved.
Did get out of bounds. 3:23. The clock will stop here in the 3rd quarter. Linn-Mar 2-score lead, 22-13. Payne to the right, trips to the left. Sullivan to throw. Sullivan looking, and caught and twisted down. Is that Roskop again? I know it's got a 5 in the back of it. Yes, it is. Keaton Roskop. And now we've got a late flag flying in. Very late. And one of the student sections is very happy, and the other one is not.
It's going to be interesting to see what this is. It's as far away from us as you can get.
Now the play is going to go for a loss of 4. They're talking to Tim Lovell. And Linn-Mar's clapping.
Here comes the signal.
Oh, they're going to pick up the flag.
No call.
All right. But it will be a sack. Or did he get rid of it? Oh, you know what happened?
It fumbled forward. I think he might have kind of like pitched it to feign a fumble.
I think he was trying to get it to save the sack. And they were going to call grounding, but did not. So it's 2nd down at 10. Back at the 37 or 27-yard line. Sullivan on a pump fake. Has all day. Throws deep middle.
Oh, that's going to be a flag.
No flag. The receiver and the D-back got tangled up. That was Wagamaster.
Oh, the Prairie sideline,
Starnes.
and fans are incredulous. How does that not come down as pass interference? But there is no penalty flag on the ground.
Mark Bliss out toward the numbers.
Wagamaster still out there pleading his case with his hands up in the air. How can you not throw a flag on that, he's saying to the official. Well, there's no replay, and so there's not going to be any way of anybody's going to.
And now I think we've got a penalty on Prairie.
Yeah, this is going to be insult to injury because now they're marking it off against Prairie as a hold.
As a hold. I did not see the holding flag.
I don't know how Mark Bliss is staying within himself right now.
I did not see that flag. So wipe off that attempt. And it's going to be a penalty from the spot of the foul, and that foul occurred 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. So it's second down and 27 from the 43. Here comes a blitz. Sullivan rolling to the right, eludes one man, eludes another, throws sideline, and the catch is made by Casey Kelly at the 34-yard line. So they will.
Now we've got a late flag, and they're throwing it on one of the Prairie assistant coaches who is beside Mark Bliss. They just threw that flag on a Prairie assistant coach who's now walking back and taking his headphones off.
And there's an injured Prairie Hawk down there as well. So it's going to be 9 on the catch. And then it's going to be a 15-yard penalty against Prairie, and that's their 7th of the night.
Well, and that official was not happy with whatever the Prairie assistant said because he threw that flag at his feet with a vengeance.
And I'm not sure who was injured.
Yeah, we've got a whole bunch of black jerseys covering us, shielding the number. In fact, we can't even see except that.
Well, that might be Cal Sullivan because
I think it has to be. That's right.
Yeah, Will Phillips is warming up. Well, no, that's not Cal Sullivan. That's one of the linemen over there. That's bigger than Cal Sullivan.
Well, it looks like they're working now. We get a little vision, working on lower extremity.
Well, this thing has gone off the rails here in the last 10 minutes.
Still have not.
No, that is Sullivan. That is Sullivan.
Yeah, and he's limping noticeably.
Cal's a big dude.
Strong kid, too. Yeah, he just threw his helmet down on the ground. He's in a little bit of pain.
Trying to walk it off, and now going to see the backup quarterback, Will Phillips, 6'4", 185-pound junior, come in.
Yeah, Sullivan up on the training table here, and they're taking a look at a heavily taped ankle.
And now Linn-Mar is going to take a timeout on top of all this with 2:59 to play in the third. So Tim Lovell saying, okay.
A lot of drama.
Let's
stay within ourselves.
Let's stay within ourselves, guys. And I think it's a pretty good timeout right there because things are, like you said, things are starting to get a little rivalry-ish right now.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't want to see anything bad happen. So I think pretty good timeout there by Tim Lovell. Warriors have scored. It's 40-7, Pella on top in the third.
Now that'll take the continuous clock off, but oh boy, that's a mountain to climb.
Yes, it is. Here it's 22-13, Linn-Mar leading Prairie. As Lions scoring the only points here in the second half. Carter Henderson's third touchdown. And the Lions got the extra point to make it 22-13. So now you're going to have the junior quarterback coming in. They're taping the right ankle of Cal Sullivan. Trainers are doing that. So it'll be a third down, and now we got another stoppage. And right now, Jack Wagamaster is in there as the quarterback. They had Phillips warming up, but now Wagamaster's back there.
Probably going to be a little wildcat.
He has thrown some passes this year, the Prairie point guard. Third down and about from here to Walford. Wagamaster to throw. Now steps up, and he's going to go down. The Linn-Mar defensive line doing a job tonight, and that was Colton Waller, the senior 205-pounder that comes up with the sack.
4 deep routes made Wagamaster pull up and look deep downfield, but then he had to scramble because it was a coverage sack, basically. This Linn-Mar defense is just playing lights out here in the second half.
So Prairie self-destructs, and they're going to have to punt it from the 49.
There won't be any fake punt this time, Scott.
Nope, Stifler will punt it. Jackson is the deep man at about the 20-yard line. They do have a short man at the 30-yard line. A high, wobbly punt. They kick it away from the returners. Will take a sideways bounce and go out of bounds at about the 23-yard line. 24-yard line. So it'll be a 27-yard punt. Linn-Mar has not punted in this ball game tonight.
This is only the second offensive possession for Linn-Mar here. We got 2 minutes left in the third quarter. So we talked after halftime about how with the limited possessions that each team has had in this game, you got to really value each possession. And so far, Linn-Mar's done that.
Well, you're Linn-Mar here as they bring Muzinski in and go 4 receivers. You put a score up here, you're looking good. From the shotgun, Waller to throw. Going to throw the quick out into the flat. Catch made by Anderson. Stiff arm at the 20, 25, and out of bounds as he'll take it to the 26-yard line. Carter Henderson will get 2 on his second catch of the night. That's basically a long handoff. Mark Bliss down there talking to Cal Sullivan and trying to see if
on the training table.
Yeah, can come back.
It was a heavily taped right ankle to begin with, and it looks as though they're putting more on. Now they're going to have to, at some point, try and get up and see if he can get his mobility back.
2nd down and 8. Jackson to the left. They're going to reset the play clock. Was down to 7. 2nd down and 8 for the Lions from the near side hash. Muzinski in motion. He'll get it on the jet sweep. Going to the short side. Caught and tossed down.
Nothing doing on that.
Right at the line of scrimmage.
Prairie had that sniffed out from the get-go.
Tate Jones in there along with Taiwan Young for the Hawks. And it'll be a 3rd down coming up for Linn-Mar. They are 4 out of 4 in this ball game. Perfect on 3rd down are the Lions.
Waller's got his work cut out for him in this one, though.
3rd and 9. The sophomore in the pistol. Henderson on his right hip. Down to minute 23. Clock rolling, 3rd quarter. Shotgun snap. Waller back to throw. Blitz coming from the outside, and it's incomplete. Big hit put on the intended receiver there by Slazak, who timed it perfectly.
Well, here comes that punt team you were talking about.
First punt of the night coming up for Gasper. And the first 3 and out for the Lion offense tonight.
And you're going to see a bunch of angry black jerseys trying to get this punt.
Casey Kelly back. Single safety at the 38-yard line.
10 bodies are going to be coming for this.
As Gasper will get ready to kick it away, averaging 33 yards a kick for Linn-Mar.
Here they come.
Good snap, rush coming, did get it away. Good job of blocking by Linn-Mar. And a wobbly kick will take a Prairie bounce, and it will be touched up at about the 47-yard line. So it will be about a 22-yarder.
But for the second time tonight, Prairie's offense is going to come out inside Linn-Mar territory.
Lions thought it hit one of the Hawks. They're not, now that's their turn not to be happy. Had a lot of unhappiness here in this second half on both sides. 1:04 to play here in quarter number 3. And Prairie will have it 1st and 10. Now, Wagamaster is in there at quarterback still. Sullivan's still being taped. From the 47-yard line, low snap. Taylor on the direct snap up the middle. Crosses the 40, gets down to the Lion 38. As Taylor will go for 9. 91 yards on the night for Mikkel Taylor. Carter Henderson with 94 as well. How about that?
How about him?
Two of the best backs in Class 5A football.
Putting on a show tonight.
Henderson with 3 touchdowns for Linn-Mar. Could be the final play of quarter number 3. Second down and a yard. Here is the handoff. There's that little wing back counter, and Kelly will take it for about 2, but that should move the chains for a Prairie first down. As the clock ticks to 20, well, they'll move the chains and then start things up. Prairie's already up to the line of scrimmage, it looks like. They want to get a play here before the end of the third. And they will. 5 seconds, 4 seconds. Taylor fakes up the middle and falls inside the 35 down to about the 32-yard line. And that will take us to the end of the third quarter of play. Through 3 in this big 5A top 10 battle. Number 9, Linn-Mar, 22. Number 6, Prairie, 13. We'll come back with quarter number 4 right after this here on CRM Live Sports.
American Family Insurance agent Kurt Gustafson is committed to inspiring and protecting dreams right here in Cedar Rapids and the surrounding area. He starts by getting to know you and your needs and build a free auto, home, or life insurance quote. By bundling policies, we can often offer a variety of discounts. Whether you're purchasing a car, buying property, managing an investment property, starting a small business, or leaving behind a legacy, we've got your back as you pursue your dreams, and we'll help protect them. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. See Kurt Gustafson Agency of American Family Insurance on Johnson Avenue Southwest, right across from the Johnson Avenue Hy-Vee for more details.
Fourth quarter about to get underway from John Wall Memorial Field. Scott Udash, John Hegarty with you. A second down and 6 coming up for the Prairie Hawks. Linn-Mar on top 22-13. We'll get you the third quarter numbers here in just a moment.
Now, there's a sense of urgency from the Prairie offense as they come out of the huddle with their coach, Mark Bliss, and just going up there to the 32-yard line. And they can kind of smell the end zone right here. But they need this possession to end with points.
Now flip-flop the line. Move the blocking back Jones to the left. Wagamaster still in there at the quarterback spot. On second down, direct snap. Wagamaster will be the lead blocker to Taylor. Strung out nicely by the Lions. Going to be a gain of about a yard, and that is it. And that will send a third down and a long 5 coming up for the Prairie Hawks.
Jack White comes up and lays the wood to him as he goes out of bounds. Nicely done.
Good to see him back in there,
yes,
too.
Yes, it is. He's a hitter.
Good middle. We got linebackers in this town.
Oh, man.
This year. Get you numbers through 3 here in just a little bit. Third down coming up for Prairie. Linn-Mar showing blitz. Here they come. Wagamaster on the keeper. Coming right. Cuts it up, and he's going to be shy of the first down. He'll take it inside the 30 down to the 29-yard line. He will go for about 3, and it's 4-down territory here for Prairie. No doubt. Through 3 quarters. Total yardage pretty close right now. 206 yards for Prairie, 180 for Linn-Mar. Lions only ran 4 plays that quarter. We're going to get a Hawk timeout. Big play. Prairie wants to talk it over.
As well they should.
11:17 to play.
You don't convert this, and it's going to be very difficult sledding the rest of this quarter.
We'll take a quick break. Come back for the 4th down play after this.
Your search for healthy, fast casual in the downtown is over. Whether it's a quick bite you're looking for or a freshly made smoothie, Nutrisport and Smoothie has expanded healthy eating in downtown Cedar Rapids. Business professionals, as well as gym goers, are singing the praises of their freshly made wraps and breakfast bowls, while the smoothie lover can choose from a variety of nutritious fruit and protein options, including your choice of adding the newest frontline supplements. For a fast, healthy, and convenient downtown option, look no further than Nutrisport and Smoothie.
All right, back with you. 22-13 Linn-Mar. Lion defense is out there. Prairie still meeting around Mark Bliss. 4th down, long 3 from the 30-yard line. Linn-Mar blitz last time. And Cal Sullivan's coming back out there.
Yes, and he's got a little limp to him, but he's a gamer. And he's clapping, trying to get the troops rallied.
4 receivers, 2 left, 2 right. Will the Lions show a blitz? Down to 7 on the play clock. Gonna have to hurry. Down to 4, down to 3, and timeout Prairie. They did get the timeout. And the Linn-Mar crowd whooping it up as the Hawks have to use their second timeout here of the half.
And again, for the umpteenth time tonight, the offensive line for Prairie doing their little maneuvers to try and get the defense to jump off and give them a free 5. And Linn-Mar hasn't bit once all night.
That is really good discipline on behalf of the Lion defense. Because how many times have we seen that free 5 over the years?
They catch everybody on it. But they have not done it to Linn-Mar tonight. Linn-Mar's been so disciplined and executed so well defensively. I know that's strange to say that they're executing defensively, but they have. Because it's just almost impossible to not jump when those little maneuvers that Prairie's line does are in front of you.
We will pick our First Federal Credit Union player of the game coming up at the conclusion of the ball game. Brought to you by First Federal Credit Union. Online at firstfedcu.com. Big play, 4th down and 3. Cal Sullivan back in.
And he's in backfield by himself.
Has a blocker off to his left again. Trips or twins left, twins right. Sullivan to throw. A hit as he throws and throws it high and out of bounds. Ross Cup again.
Oh my gosh, what a game Ross Cup has had on both sides of the ball, and that was one of the big plays of the game as well.
This has been such a weird half because stat-wise, Prairie has dominated the second half.
So they've had 3 possessions, the Hawks have. The first one didn't go because the fake punt didn't work. Then they punted on the second one, and now they gave it over on downs, but well inside Linn-Mar territory.
11-10 to play, ball on the 30-yard line. It'll be first down for the Lions. Again, a score, and Linn-Mar's looking golden right now. They'll go 3 receivers, 2 to the right side. Inside handoff, Carter Henderson. Tried to kick it outside, and Prairie was right there. As coming up with the stop for the Hawks was weak side linebacker Tate Jones. And it'll be a loss of 1 that time for Henderson.
Linn-Mar's going to be watching that play clock now. They need to try and milk that a little bit.
Yeah, take all of that down. Still 20 in the play clock. Still a lot of time remaining in the game, 10:40, but Prairie's not a big pass play, hit 'em quick team. Keep that in mind. 2nd down and 11, and I think we're going to get a Lion timeout. As now Tim Lovell wants to talk it over with 10:31 to play here in the ball game, and gives us a chance to check out the Emils Hideaway scoreboard, the out-of-town scoreboard here. Pleasant Valley is woke up in the second half, 35-14. Tell you what, hats off to one of the great strings we talked about a little bit on the show today, but it will be a postseasonless year for Bettendorf. That will break a streak of 24 consecutive postseasons for the Bulldogs. But they're ahead tonight 38-0. Cedar Falls, 4th quarter, leading Dubuque Senior 14-7. Dowling is going to beat Waukee. It's 37-0 right there. Thank you. 1998, no, 97 or 98, I'd have to double check, was the last time Bettendorf did not make the playoffs. Xavier has beaten Oskaloosa 52-6. It is a final. Here is the double reverse. Are they going to throw it out of this? Flag down. Muzinski looking to throw and is throwing it back and threw it at a lineman.
Who goes back to him and says, "You can't throw that ball to me."
Well, we got 1 flag down. I thought that might bring a 2nd flag, but it did not. It's going to be a hold.
The hold is the one that's going to hurt the worst.
Yeah, that's going to be way back there. Well, Linn-Mar went for the jugular there.
And Prairie got good penetration and was going to have none of it.
So it's either going to be 3rd and 11 or 2nd down and about 28. I think you probably, if you're Prairie, push them back.
Absolutely.
They're discussing, and now the near side official and the white hat are talking.
Now, it's possible there's a flag down at the feet of the bench on Prairie's sideline that we can't see.
If there is, I don't see it. It's being disguised.
A couple of assistant coaches pointing out on the field in reference to something, and Mark Bliss listening intently.
It's a pretty good discussion going on right here.
Yeah, I haven't seen one this long in quite some time.
Still 10:24 to play here in the ball game, as the officials still deliberating. And now the head official coming over to talk to Mark Bliss. And I think they may be giving him an option here. If that was intentional grounding.
Yeah, he may decline it.
And, well, it'd be 5 yards and loss of down. So it'd be 3rd and 16. Do you want 3rd and 16 or do you want 2nd down back at the 11, I think they're saying. We got a lot to chew on here. So it's a hold. That's declined. And there is intentional grounding.
Yeah, I think that flag came down at the feet of the bench for Prairie that we were not able to see because they shield us.
Yeah, Ashton Talbot did not want any part of that, the center for the Lions. And as he was taught very well, don't catch the ball.
That's right. And he went back and gave a little tongue lashing to the thrower, too.
I get to touch it every time. You don't need to give it to me. So it's 2nd down, and it's going to end up being 2nd and 21. So it must be from the spot of the touch. And it is a 3rd down. And the Lions will just keep it on the ground to Henderson, and he's wrapped up immediately. Monahan, the junior, came in there and got him. And Linn-Mar is going to have to bring in Gasper to punt. 2nd consecutive 3 and out. They'll punt from the 18. Again, no wind. Absolutely calm night out here at John Wall Memorial Field.
Casey Kelly back to take this punt, and he should get some good field position for Prairie's offense if he catches this in the air.
He's back at the 45. Gasper's first one only went 22. We'll see if he gets a better one off this time. Good snap back, rush coming, got it away. Nice spiral kick, running up Kelly, makes the catch in traffic. Fair catch at the 47-yard line.
Which is exactly where Prairie started its last possession, inside Lion territory once again.
So that one about a 30-yard punt. No return. And 1st and 10, as you mentioned, same spot they were last time.
And it's time for Prairie's offense. They got to go down and get a score on the board on this possession. Down 22-13 with 9.5 minutes left in this game.
1st down and 10 for the Hawks from the 47. They try to flip-flop that line again. They'll go back, go unbalanced to the right, and they'll run it to that way. And diving across the 45 is Mikkel Taylor to the 44s, where they'll say his knee touched after a gain of 3. Prairie's run many more plays than the Lions. They've had the ball almost double. But all the penalties and all the miscues. Linn-Mar has played a clean game. That's why they're in front. 22-13. 2nd down, long 7 from the 44. Lions with the blitz. And a spin. Taylor on the run. 40, 35, 30. And Taylor, after the spin, took it ahead for about 14 yards. Everybody overran it. They didn't know who had the ball.
There's some great faking there, which is what this single wing offense that Mark Bliss has brought to Prairie is known for, but that's about as good a faking as we've seen tonight in this game.
Taylor over 100 yards. He's gone over 1,000 tonight. 8.5 to play in the ball game. 1st and 10, Prairie at the Linn-Mar 30-yard line. They'll send a man in motion. Again, they try that spin, and it's a fumble. Linn-Mar was in there. This time they hit him, and I think the Lions got it. They'll unpile Linn-Mar ball and a flag down.
Yeah, there was something that the officials didn't like in the way that the unpiling occurred there.
Colton Waller came up with the fumble.
This could be a dead ball foul on Linn-Mar after they got the fumble recovery.
Well, on somebody, it's a dead ball foul.
Ball's being picked up and brought back over to the Prairie sideline, which means that it is a change of possession, and Linn-Mar is going to have the ball from their sideline come out.
But it is going to be a Linn-Mar penalty.
Now, we don't have a walk-off for the infraction or know what it is at this point, but it is going against Linn-Mar. And I think this is a dead ball foul after the recovery.
It was a personal foul.
So that's going back 15 from there.
So the Lions will have it at the 22-yard line with 8:21 to play, and 8:21 until they know they are in the playoffs for sure.
Something about the way they didn't unpile nicely is sending them back.
From the 22, Henderson the lone setback, and he'll get it right up the middle, and a tough 2 to the 24-yard line. Going to Minnesota State next year. They're going to get a good one. Really good. And he put on some weight from junior season to senior season. And I think the bar is pretty high for Carter when he gets up there.
No doubt.
2nd down and 8. To the right. Lions got the play clock to 10. Off the fake. They'll hand it to Henderson on the counter. Coming left. Inside across the 25. And he'll get to about the 28-yard line, as Henderson will go for 4 more.
Austin Waller needs to keep his eye on that play clock and just milk it a little bit more than he has been here.
Still 23.
Yeah, he left a good 11 seconds on the table that last time.
7:15 to play in the ball game. 22-13 Linn-Mar. Lions win, they're in. Prairie's already in, but could lose the home game tonight. 3rd down and 7. Here is the toss to Henderson. Full head of steam, 30. Spins, got a 1st down. Across the 35 to the 36-yard line. Boy, he hits an extra gear really quick.
Man, and that pitch took forever to get out to him, and he still ended up converting.
Over 100 now for Henderson tonight. And in a short season, regular season, he's going to end up with over 700 yards. That's pretty good running for Carter Henderson.
Looking pretty fresh right now.
Ferguson and Jackson out wide to the left side for Linn-Mar. Coming up on 6.5 to play in the ball game. Lions 22, Prairie 13. Hawks with 10 in the box. Hand off to Henderson. Almost busted it. Got 5 to the 41-yard line.
Still drug a couple of Prairie defenders with him for that last couple of yards.
Boy, this is you're rolling your dice right now if you're defensive coordinator Jim Dostal, because
you have to, though.
Yeah, you have to.
He's got to.
But if Henderson gets through, he's gone. And he just about did it that time. 2nd down, 5. Clock running. 5:55 to play in the ball game. 1 left, 1 to the right. I formation with Mesh the tailback or the fullback. Roskup tight end left, and
trap.
They'll give it to Mesh
On the trap.
How about that? Keep your fullback happy, and a late flag coming in. And it is enough for the 1st down.
That's coming back, I'm afraid, though, for Linn-Mar.
Boy, that flag was whipped in there. No personal foul, Prairie.
Oh, my goodness. And Prairie's got to be careful here, because you can't risk an ejection. That'll screw you over for next week, man, in the first round of the playoffs. They got to be careful.
So it's going to be 15. This crew does not take anything.
They have been throwing some flags at the feet of people with a vengeance here in this second half. You don't usually see officials do that.
Well, there's the ball at the 38-yard line.
Oh, man. That's a big change in momentum right there.
In Prairie territory. Lions starting to feel it on the far sideline. Starting to dance and whoop it up a little bit. First down for the Hawk, 38. Linn-Mar from the far hash. Now they're going to take some of that play clock down, John. They're just standing right there.
As they should.
Good job by the young sophomore quarterback, Waller. T.J. Jackson coming in motion. He'll turn it up. Hand off to Henderson. Off left tackle inside the 35. He's down to the 34-yard line.
Another good gainer. Just running so hard right now. His helmet and shoulder pads out in front of his feet. His legs churning. Just taking people for a ride.
Give him 4. 4:36 clock rolling. Second down at 6 for Linn-Mar. Up 22-13. Lions win. They are in at 6-3. And Prairie will also end up the regular season at 6-3. Second down at 6. Here is a toss to Henderson. Hitting the backfield, but still spun away and got back close to the line of scrimmage.
Tate Jones came in there, met him in the backfield, and almost registered the slobber knocker. That just shows you how strong a running back he is.
And now we've got a timeout, and I think they've got an injured Hawk out there. And they do, and that is Brock Harder, who is down on one knee.
Now, Scott, I know you can tell me the answer to this because I've been to your house many times, but isn't Minnesota State the home of Coach Hayden Fox and Luther and Dauber?
Well, yes. Well, it used to be, what, Minnesota Mankato or Mankato State?
Mankato.
And then they changed the name.
Mankato State.
To Minnesota State.
But wasn't that coaches?
Yes, it was. Minnesota State.
I knew you'd know that.
Craig T. Nelson. That was an underrated show.
Yes, it was.
By the way, that was, and all based on Hayden Fox. It's now a final. Pella has beaten Cedar Rapids, Washington, 47-14, and Washington's playoff hopes took a direct hit tonight. Third down here for the Lions. Third down at 7. Ball middle of the field at the Prairie 35. See if they keep it on the ground and let Henderson try to get it. Nope, they're going to go to the air. Waller rolling to the left side. Throws as he's falling down, and it's incomplete. No grounding. Nick Powell put the defensive pressure on that time.
Waller's been adapting as this game goes on. A couple of times they ran that exact bootleg play in the first quarter, and he just ate it. That time he got rid of it to save at least 8 to 10 yards.
Going to keep the offense out there on fourth down. It's fourth down, long 6. They need the Prairie about the 28.5-yard line. And did they get Prairie to jump? Nearly did. Trying to get that hard count down to 5. They will quick kick it.
The quick kick.
Hayden Fry lives. You talk about Fry, and that's what happens. And it's going to be a beauty. Going to go down to the 5-yard line.
Wow.
How about that for a heck of a call for Tim Lovell?
I tell you what, Tim Lovell, we haven't talked about this, but I've been thinking it throughout the whole second half. What a tremendous game plan he had tonight, and how well has his team executed it, even down to the little intangibles like the quick punt that dribbles down inside the 5-yard line.
That was perfect. And it will be Prairie ball, but down by 9, 22-13. And they have it on their own 5-yard line with an injured quarterback. Sullivan from his own end zone looking to throw, just throws it away.
Boy, he went down hard.
Yeah, and right now, I mean, he's gutting it out.
Yeah. Lineman helped him up to his feet, and he's walking gingerly back, but He's such a warrior, but my goodness, he got taken down from behind on that one.
So it'll be 2nd down and 10 with 3:36 to play. We'll have the First Federal Credit Union player of the game coming up, as well as our Carpenters Local 308 play of the game for you coming up after this. 2nd down and 10. Sullivan remains at quarterback. Linn-Mar bringing him again. Sullivan throws high through the hands of the intended receiver, Mikkel Taylor, incomplete. And it will be a 3rd and 10 coming up for Prairie. So I'm going to go with that spread look now with the 4 receivers. Two left, 2 right. And they need to get just across their own 15-yard line. Shotgun snap. Sullivan throws the middle of the field and through the hands of Payne, incomplete. 2 pretty good passes, the last 2 by Cal Sullivan.
We let him just a tad too much, but Payne could get his hands on him. Got to bring those in at this juncture.
Well, it's 4th down. And this is one of those you're darned if you do and darned if you don't situations.
Got to go for it.
4th down and 10 from your own 5.
But this is the game for Linn-Mar.
And Prairie will keep the offense out there. They're 1 for 2 on 4th down tries. Play clock at 8. 2 left, 2 right. White showing blitz. He'll back it off, and now we've got a false start. That will back Prairie up a couple more. 9th penalty tonight for the Hawks.
Prairie does have 1 timeout left.
And it'll make the job a little bit tougher here for Cal Sullivan. 22-13 Linn-Mar, 3:26 to play. A trip formation to the right this time. To the strong side of the field. 1 receiver, Payne, to the left. They show blitz. Sullivan back to throw in the end zone. Being chased. Sullivan just going to shovel it. It's intercepted. In the end zone. Carter Severson for the pick 6. Then he didn't have to go anywhere.
The ball was pitched right to Severson, and all he had to do was to grab it and signal touchdown.
And he did.
And it's just all caved in here in this 4th quarter for Prairie.
INT touchdown, and Linn-Mar is going to go to the playoffs. As the Lions now lead at 28-13. And Fromm will try the extra point. Severson came on the delayed blitz that time and just plucked it out there. High snap, and the kick is going to be blocked. And it's going to stay, well, does stay a 2-score game at 28-13. I thought for a moment he was going to take perhaps a safety. But that wouldn't have done you any good either if you're Prairie.
It's just been a disastrous second half for the Prairie Hawks. And Linn-Mar, on the other hand, has just played lights out. Their execution,
yes,
their discipline, their ability to not take one play off. They have valued every play, including every possession. But you think about it, Scott. How many mistakes have they made of any kind tonight? Yeah, they've had 2 fumbles. One of them doesn't really count.
No.
But the other one was on the very first possession of the game, and it did end up costing them a touchdown. But other than that, I mean, it'll be interesting at the end of the game to see how many penalty yards they had, how many penalties total, because it just can't be very many. And they've earned the chance to win this game tonight.
They have definitely played the cleaner game and deserve to be out in front. No doubt about that, and that's where they are. As Linn-Mar will kick it away. Line drive bouncer. Take a couple hops. Picked up Kelly. 10, 15. Kicks it to the outside at the 25. To the 30. Down the near sideline. 45. Good return to the 50. Sidestepping folks. Still on his feet. Finally taken down at the 45-yard line. in Linn-Mar territory. But, well, an injured Lion. And that will stop play for just a moment. 45-yard return for Casey Kelly with 3:05 to play.
Down 15. It's a two-possession game, and they are going to. Prairie is going to start inside Linn-Mar territory. They're going to have to hurry though and get a touchdown and get an onside kick.
Did not see who the injured Lion was. They're out there tending to them. Helmet is off, as Tim Lovell again will make his way out onto the field. Boy, the first half didn't take very long at all, and the second half is
it's dragging.
It's taking a long.
And if you're a Prairie fan, there are still time for heroics, but you're going to have to hurry.
We'll take a break. 3:05 to play in the ball game. It's Linn-Mar on top, 28-13 over Prairie. Back after this here on CRM Live Sports.
The MLB, the NFL, the NHL. What do these three have in common? All three professional leagues have a chiropractor full-time in every team. Professional athletes use chiropractic care to perform at their highest level. Let the team at Spinal Corrective Center help you play at 100%. Sports chiropractic care is the next level. Chiropractic care improves body function, reaction, and improves player longevity. Call Spinal Corrective Center today at 393-3996 and see Drs. Kretzinger, Kuehl, and Henick and experience sports chiropractic care to perform at the next level. Spinal Corrective Center, 3800 River Ridge Drive Northeast in Cedar Rapids, and at spinalcc.org.
The injured party is special teams ace Isaac Guerrero, and he needs some help going to the sidelines. Two of his teammates carrying him off.
Yeah, they've got him in the cradle on either side. He is not even able to put any weight on either foot.
Oh, that'd be a big loss for Linn-Mar. 1st and 10 for Prairie. It's still a 28-13 game. Sullivan, short drop, throws to the sideline. Payne with the catch. And he will get out of bounds after a pickup of 7. As Linn-Mar playing a little bit softer right now.
That sideline hitch pattern has been money in the bank all night if they go to it.
2nd down, 3. As they will put it in play from the 38-yard line. Wide side of the field to the right. Lions playing nickel defense. There is a little crossing pattern. It's caught for a 1st down by Stout, as he'll get it to the 34-yard line. And now we've got a Prairie. Stout is down after the catch. His 2nd grab of the night. And the 14th 1st down. And looks like Stout's going to be okay. Well, started to get up anyway. We'll have playoff action for you next Friday night here on CRM Live Sports. Not sure where we will be as of yet, but we'll be somewhere. Who knows? This is going to throw a little
10 o'clock tomorrow morning, folks.
little ratchet into things here. Because Linn-Mar is going to move up. Prairie's going to move down. A lot of people speculating it could be Linn-Mar Kennedy.
I think the people in Boone would like to do that.
So it'll be 1st and 10. As Stout makes his way off onto the sideline. 1st and 10, they'll start the clock. 2:45 to play. 3 to the left, 1 to the right. Sullivan looking to the left side. Going to throw that out. Mikkel Taylor with the catch. Spins inbounds and brought down at the 29-yard line.
Defenders for Linn-Mar on that tackle doing everything they can to make sure that it goes down inbounds.
Yeah, they're playing this very, very smart at this time. 2nd down and 5. Sullivan again looking left, going to throw that out and broken up. Good play on the ball by Ben Blackford.
Going to the well once too often, I believe, is the saying there.
And that for Sullivan is his 21st pass of the night.
What a warrior, man. He's standing in there. You know his ankle's just killing him. But he's standing in there like a warrior,
Third down coming up for the Hawks. They get a 3rd and 5 from the 29 of Linn-Mar. 2:15 to play, 28-13. Lions on top. Prairie in 4-down territory. Low shotgun snap. Sullivan, a pump fake. Another pump fake. Going to start to run. Still looking to throw and going to throw it away. And nobody was out there. And he did get across the line of scrimmage, though, and he was out of the tackle box. So
Prairie does have that one timeout left. But 4th down right now, this is it. They've got to convert.
And it's a 4th down and 5. Linn-Mar defensively been turning everything back in after that initial first down. With 2:06 to go. One back into block, 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. On 4th and 5, last gasp here for the Hawks. Sullivan to throw, and it's broken up, incomplete. Throw that out again. Linebacker Kinnick Lechtenberg got in the passing lane and knocked it away.
That'll take care of it as the ball goes over on downs to a very happy bunch of Linn-Mar Lions.
2:02 left to go. So 122 seconds between Linn-Mar and their playoff berth. Second straight year that Tim Lovell will take the Lions to the playoffs. And that is a big feather in his cap. We'll have the Plum Supply Kitchens and Baths postgame show coming up for you after the conclusion of this one. So it's a 1st and 10 from the 29-yard line. They'll send Muzinski in motion, and we've got a whistle and a delay of game. They took too long that time.
As clean a game as they've played, boy, this has been a flag fest here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, it really has been. We've seen a lot of them. Seen a lot of them. So it'll be a 5-yard mark-off against the Lions. With 2:01 to play here in the ball game. And what a win it's going to be for the Lions. Inside handoff. Henderson bounces off the pile. Tries to get to the outside. And got a couple. And Prairie with 1 timeout remaining. Not taking it right now. As the clock continues to run with 1:45 to play in the ball game. Well, congratulations to Linn-Mar. I mean, they knew what they needed to do. Tim Lovell told me before our interview, he said, I didn't do any math. We didn't do any math. We knew we win, we're in. It's that simple. Said we lose, we'll worry about it then. 2nd down and 13. Muzinski in motion right. And they'll toss it to Henderson. Trying to get to the corner and wrapped up by Aiden Heisdorfer. Going to be a loss of a couple. And we're down to a minute to play.
Yeah, I think that timeout is academic now, but Mark Bliss, this is going to be a tough pill for him to swallow because it has the potential to really gum up that first-round matchup they were hoping to secure the home field advantage and, a much more favorable first-round opponent.
Instead, probably a bus trip somewhere. 3rd down. 2 in the play clock. Down to 1. They get it off. Anderson up the middle to the 30. Penalty flag down. And he'll take it to the 34-yard line.
Why not? Let's have another flag.
Gain of 10 if it stands. It's going to be a block in the back against the Lions.
I think there are some people that would just like to go home at this point.
On both sides. And,
a lot of dads are buying pizzas for their girls, I think.
You're giving ideas back there, right?
I got to help my employer out whenever I can.
Indeed. Indeed. So the Lions with that mark off as They will get into victory formation here. And this will be a sweet victory formation for Linn-Mar.
And that'll do it.
I don't think Prairie's going to call a timeout. Mark Bliss will not. And the Linn-Mar Lions are going to go to the playoffs at 6-3 as they will get the victory in this one here tonight. One they needed, one they got on the road as Linn-Mar wins it by a score of 28-13. We will step aside, take a break, come back with the Plum Supply Kitchens and Baths postgame show for you after this here on CRM Live Sports.
The Cedar Rapids, Iowa City Building Trades Council represents 18 building trade unions in the corridor. Each union provides skilled workers for construction projects throughout the area. Union workers are highly skilled professionals who are determined to better their communities. The building trades unions are always looking toward the future. Training in registered apprenticeships is available. Visit their website at cricbt.org for more information. The Cedar Rapids, Iowa City Building and Trades Council, committed to getting the job done right the first time. Epiphany Dermatology is a full-service dermatology practice that treats all conditions of the skin, hair, and nails. Dr. John Wollner has been practicing and treating patients for over 30 years. Epiphany Dermatology has built a reputation based on reliable customer service and quality skin and hair loss treatments. Epiphany Dermatology also places a special emphasis on skin cancer prevention, screenings, and treatment. Call them to book an appointment at 363-9936 and visit their website at epiphanydermatology.com. Epiphany Dermatology, 5264 Council Street Northeast, Suite 700 in Cedar Rapids. End your search for your favorite restaurant in Cedar Rapids. Come to Emel's Hideaway. Emel's is the home for the best-tasting American food around. Choose from your favorites: chicken, pasta dishes, pizzas, burgers, and fries. Whether you're bringing the whole family for a meal or wetting your whistle at our fully stocked bar, there's something to satisfy all ages and tastes at our classic American local restaurant. Need catering for your next party or event? Emel's has that too. Call them for details. Emel's Hideaway, open Monday through Saturday at 4 p.m., is right next to Home Depot and across from Lyndale Mall on 1st Avenue Southeast in Cedar Rapids.
Plum Supply Kitchens and Baths. Your home never looks so beautiful. Plumbing fixtures, a great variety. Transform your home with Plum Supply. Our kitchen designs are amazing. Our service is priceless. Plum Supply. Touch and see. Plum Supply Kitchens and Baths. Your home never looks so beautiful.
Back on the Plum Supply Kitchens and Baths postgame show, Scott Udash, John Hegarty with you as the Linn-Mar Lions will qualify for the 5A playoffs, and a happy bunch they are.
Oh, my.
They did a dead sprint to their student section, and why not? Tell you what, who knows what's going to happen, where they're going to go, but boy, that's they played a really good football game tonight.
And they did it on the road and in a very hostile environment.
Against a rival.
Against a big rival. But, you know, just hats off to Tim Lovell and his Lions, because they came here with a mission tonight that most people would have said is not possible to do. And yet they put the naysayers behind them, and they just put their performance on display for everybody. And the scoreboard took care of itself.
Took advantage of what was given to them. Carter Henderson was terrific. The defense was disciplined.
Yes.
And just you add all that together, and it was just a very, very fine road performance.
They were bend not break on defense. They took care the opportunities offensively that were offered to them, and I think Prairie, when they look back on this, they're going to probably point the finger at a lot of self-inflicted wounds in terms of penalties and turnovers and things of that nature. But it's going to be tough. But this could, in a way, if they get a favorable matchup first round, which doesn't seem very likely right now, they still could find a way to springboard the disappointment from this into a big performance next Friday night in the first round. You never know what's going to happen in high school football. It's just the gods are fickle, Scott. They always have been, and they always will be.
Well, let's take a look at the final totals in the ball game tonight. Won by Linn-Mar, 28-13. Prairie took advantage of a Linn-Mar turnover, one of the only miscues of the night, and scored on just a 12-yard scoring drive. Took 33 seconds. Cal Sullivan, the first of his 2 touchdown runs, made it 7-0. The Lions then scored on the ensuing drive when Carter Henderson finished it off with a powerful 15-yard run. They went for 2 out of the swinging gate and were successful, and that was an 8-7 Linn-Mar lead. They made it 15-7 the next time they touched the ball after a Prairie punt. Carter Henderson again, his second touchdown of the night, this one from 9 yards out to make it 15-7. Prairie closed within a 2-point try at 15-13 on a Cal Sullivan 3-yard run with a minute 59 remaining in the first half. They went for 2, did not get it, and then after that, it was at halftime with a 15-13 Linn-Mar lead. And the Lions scored off a fake punt that did not yield the necessary yards for Prairie. And then Carter Henderson, an 11-yard run, that made it 22-13. And then the Hawks put it away with 3:42 remaining in the ball game when Carter Severson intercepted a pass in the end zone. And that was the easiest pick six you'll find. Didn't have to go anywhere. Extra point was blocked, and that's where we finished at 28-13. Total yards in the ball game, they were tough to come by tonight. 234 total yards for Prairie, 206 for the Linn-Mar Lions in the ball game tonight. For Linn-Mar, 122 on the ground, 84 through the air. Quarterback Austin Waller was 8 of 12 for 84 yards tonight in the ball game. Keaton Roscup, what a game he had. He ended up with 4 catches for 33 yards, but also was an absolute demon defensively tonight for the Lions. And then 2 catches for Carter Henderson and a catch apiece for Jackson and Mazinski tonight. On the ground, Carter Henderson, 23 carries, 115 yards, 3 touchdowns for the senior headed to Minnesota State. 3 carries for Mazinski. He had 4 yards. Mesh carried it once for 6. For Prairie, 170 on the ground, 64 through the air. Cal Sullivan tonight was injured in the fourth quarter, but gutted through it. He was 9 of 22 for 64 yards and 1 interception in the ball game tonight. Apollo Payne caught 4 for 38. Mikkel Taylor caught 3 for 16, and Stout caught 2. On the ground, Mikkel Taylor went over 1,000 yards tonight, 21 carries for 107 yards. Sullivan carried it 13 times for 47 yards. Kelly had 3 carries for 11 yards in the ball game tonight. First downs, Prairie with 14, Linn-Mar with 12. Penalties, though, 9 against Prairie in the ball game for a total of 92 yards of penalties tonight.
Big stat.
While Linn-Mar had 5 in the ball game, Lions 45 yards penalties. 2 sacks for Prairie, 1 for Linn-Mar. Lions turned it over twice. Prairie turned it over once in the ball game. Third down conversions, Linn-Mar ended up 5 of 9, while Prairie ended up 6 for 14 on third down tries. Hawks were 1 out of 4 tonight as well on fourth down tries. Linn-Mar was 0 for 1. And time of possession, Prairie with the advantage, 27 minutes and 40 seconds to 20 minutes and 20 seconds tonight for the Linn-Mar Lions. All adds up to a Lion victory to go to 6-3, dropping Prairie to 6-3. Both teams will go to the postseason as the Lions win it tonight, 28-13. We'll step aside, come back, and have our awards for you right after this here on CRM Live Sports.
Carpenters Local 308 in Cedar Rapids is a member of the North Central States Regional Council of Carpenters, representing nearly 27,000 members and their families in the upper Midwest. The union is dedicated to protecting and elevating the economic and social conditions of all workers and to provide our industry with the best trained, most productive, and safest workforce available. Carpenter's Local 308 is always looking for new workers to join their ranks. Apprenticeship classes and training are available for you to become a skilled worker for your career. More information on Carpenter's Local 308 is available at carpenterslocal308.org. First Federal Credit Union has been helping homeowners for almost a century. Options are crucial when it comes to a first-time home purchase, mortgage refinancing, or a bill consolidation loan. Being able to select the absolute best loan for your situation can literally save you thousands of dollars over the life of the loan. Whether you're a first-time home buyer or an experienced homeowner, First Federal Credit Union will work to find the solution that is right for you. Learn more at firstfedcu.com. Member NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
Back with you here one final time at John Wall Memorial Field as the Linn-Mar Lions defeat the Prairie Hawks tonight by a score of 28-13. Time to pick our player of the game. It is brought to you by First Federal Credit Union online at firstfedcu.com. And a big thanks to everybody over at First Federal, Tom Chalstrom and the entire gang. We do appreciate everything they do for us. They're proud to support high school sports. Auto loans, checking, and the best savings rates in town. Check them out at firstfedcu.com. And I think it's one of two guys, but I think Carter Henderson gets my vote tonight.
Man, he was a warrior. I tell you what, he had to have been bruised and battered by the time that last play went off. But what a tremendous game. And, you know, he was their inspirational leader. It was kind of like, what do a lot of the team leaders do? It's crunch time. You got to have a win. And he put Linn-Mar on his back, and he carried him to the victory in a lot of respects tonight, Scott.
Yes, he did. Now, I will give special honorable mention to Keaton Roscup.
Big 85. And I don't know if he came off the field, but he had some real impact plays tonight.
He did. And but it is Carter Henderson with 23 carries, 115 yards, and 3 touchdowns, as he is tonight's First Federal Credit Union player of the game. Our play of the game brought to you by Carpenter's Local 308. And they are online at carpenterslocal308.org. Dedicated to protecting their workers and providing the best trained workforce available. Apprenticeship classes and training are available. And again, go to their website, carpenterslocal308.org. And thanks to Bob Dobeck and everybody over there. Do appreciate that. And got to go to the fake punt. Change the entire ball game. Prairie had I don't know if it was called, I think it was just an option situation. Slazak thought he had the corner, and what a play that was made over there. I think it was Colton Waller who came up with it and tripped him up a couple yards shy of the first down, and then Henderson goes in a couple plays later, covered the 26 in 2 plays, and that was it.
Yeah, both teams had 2 touchdowns at that point, so it was an even-Steven game. But that was the turning point when they did not convert on that fake punt, and then the Henderson 11-yard run that followed it for the go-ahead touchdown. Linn-Mar never looked back after that point.
Did not. And that is our play of the game, brought to you by Carpenter's Local 308. And check them out online at carpenterslocal308.org. We're going to do some facts and figuring right after we say goodnight here and see exactly what may transpire here. Playoff teams will be known tonight. Both of these teams are going to be in the 5A playoffs. We do know that. Probably around 11 o'clock tonight at the Iowa High School Athletic Association meeting right now in Boone. We'll come up with that.
But this threw a wrench into the works.
It did. This threw a wrench into things. And both these teams, well, we'll see. We'll see if they're going to be on the road. More than likely, yes now. But we'll see who their opponent is going to be. We will be somewhere next Friday. 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, the pairings will come out. And then we'll let you know shortly thereafter on CRM Live Sports on Twitter. Give us a follow right there, and we'll let you know where we will be at coming up next Friday, Week 10. As the season goes quicker, I think, every year for us, John.
It certainly has this year. There's no doubt. I can't believe that we're going to hit the playoff run here. But, you know, this is the time of year where everything changes for the better, you would think. But things just get a little strange at this point now. Practices are different. When you come to the venues for the games next week, there's no preliminary game. The atmosphere is different. It may turn cold again, and all of a sudden people have got to bundle up, as opposed to the beach balls that we see flying around here tonight. Still, at this point, people wearing shorts. And so, yeah, it's crunch time, though, and you got to get a favorable first-round matchup. You got to take care of business in that first round, and then let the chips fall where they may if you can get to the quarters.
Mostly cloudy, 58 is the early forecast.
Oh, I'll take that.
For next Friday.
I will take that.
That's going to wrap things up tonight. A big thanks to Rocky Bennett, everybody here at Prairie for all the hospitality. Thanks to everybody for tuning into the broadcast. A big thanks to all our sponsors, and we get ready for the playoffs coming up next week here on CRM Live Sports. For John Hegarty, Scott Udash saying so long. From John Wall Memorial Field, final score tonight, it was number 9, Linn-Mar, 28, and number 6 at 5A, Cedar Rapids Prairie, 13. This has been a sports presentation of CRM Live Sports.